Fourth Division, second week of finals, of course, starting today at Jubilee Park. First semi-final this afternoon. Heathmont taking on South Belgrave. This is going to be another absolute beauty at Jubilee Park. Heathmont, do they bring back in Mick Aitken on the bigger ground to give them more room to sit in the forward line with Darren Sheen after we saw last week, Davo, that the Heathmont forward line barely fired a shot last week? South Belgrave, does having that week on Jubilee Park help them out? Can they bring the extra run and carry of Tommy Hallinan back into the side? Can they just run Heathmont off their feet all day? You've coached against both of these sides in the last 24 months, I should say, Brownie. This is going to be a cracker.
It is. It's a really important game for both sides. Obviously, Heathmont coming off the double chance, sliding back to an elimination this weekend. And I just tend to think that South Belgrave have started to peak at the right time of the year. They're starting to manage their list. They're getting a couple of their key players back. And I noticed at selection yesterday that sitting as an emergency, they've got Condor listed. Now, I know he went down earlier in the season.
First game of the year.
Yeah, with a broken ankle. Now, I tend to think if they've named him as an emergency in a cutthroat final, I think Condor will be playing this afternoon. If he does and he's fit, he could certainly be the difference between a Heathmont win and a Heathmont loss by 5 o'clock today. Look, I tend to think that South Belgrave will actually get the win over Heathmont. I still have some questions over... I know Heathmont have got a very powerful forward line in Sheen and Odermatt and, if Aiken plays, but I think the running brigade that South Belgrave have compared to Heathmont probably outshines them, and I tend to think a Hallinan back in the side on the big wide expanses of Ringwood are certainly going to be a handy inclusion for South Belgrave, and I think you might hear from a happy Nick Cox tomorrow morning. I
dare say if they win, we will be hearing from him as well, Davo.
Yeah, look, I tend to agree just about with everything that John said then. I thought... I was pretty disappointed with Heathmont last week, to be honest. I thought they were incredibly one-dimensional. I didn't think their forward line, even though they were out, they didn't really work very hard at all. I thought it was too easy for them. They became Sheen-centric. That's all they did was aim for him the whole time. No one else worked very hard, and they really surprised me with the fact that, I didn't think Fletcher Gully were that great either. So, I mean, I've seen South Belgrave this year. We played him in a pracky game, and I think Hallinan's a superstar. And if he's playing at Ringwood, he could absolutely have a birthday out there. And as John said, I think they're peaking at the right time. I think Coxie's got them in the right frame of mind. They've got good tools. I think that really helps them. I think they've got good experience in the middle. They've got enough kids that can run. And I think they've got multiple opportunities up forward. They don't, if Appleby doesn't kick the goals, that's okay. They've got others that can. So I would say that I think that South Belgrave will win it today as well.
Going to be a very interesting game indeed, as will tomorrow afternoon's game, the second semi-final in Division 4. The Glen Waverley Hawks taking on the Ferntree Gully Eagles. Not only does the team that win run straight through to a grand final, they're also joining the likes of you two gentlemen in Division 3 next season as well, of course, with double promotion in Division 4. Ferntree Gully coming off a tough game last week against Heathmont. Glennie Hawks had the chance to sit back and watch them at play. How do you see this one panning out, Brownie?
Yeah, I think I mentioned to you earlier today when we were speaking that Glen Waverley Hawks have certainly had an outstanding season, finished on top of the ladder, and...
I can sense a but coming here.
There's a but, and my but with that is the question mark, I guess, over their experience in finals. They're yet to probably nail a big finals win. And those question marks are always going to hang over everyone's head until they actually get out there and get the job done. Look, they've earned the right, and they probably go into tomorrow's game as favourites, and rightly so. But
the single biggest game in the history of the Glen Waverley Hawks Football Club tomorrow?
It is, because once again, they'll feel the pressure of, clubs like Lilydale and North Ringwood, that if they happen to go down tomorrow, they go back to a cutthroat final, and questions are certainly going to be asked about what's happening. But look, right across the field this year, I think they've been very strong. They've got a lot of key forwards kicking a lot of goals, so they're not relying on one or two forwards. They've got some talented midfield supply coming out this year with the likes of Aaron Riddle and Tutu running out of the middle. Brad Riddle, even off a half-back flank this year, has been very productive for them. So, look, I tend to think that Glen Waverley Hawks will probably just get across the line. But it wouldn't surprise me to see Ferntree Gully, after their finals experience last year, bob up and actually pinch a win.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think Glen Waverley Hawks, I'm tipping them to win. I think the reason why is that I don't know whether Ferntree Gully have got the key backs that can stop all of the Glen Waverley forwards. Having said that, I think that Ferntree Gully's midfield is a pretty dangerous midfield. Experienced again, dangerous, and they need to get a little bit more out of Morris tomorrow than what they got last week. If they can get a little bit more out of him, if they can release Diezio up forward maybe.
He'd be huge centre half forward tomorrow.
Then that might have a real impact. So there's a few chess pieces that can be rolled there tomorrow, which would certainly influence the game. But I think probably all over the ground, Glen Waverley have probably been a better balance. They've got multiple options up forward, and one of the things about finals is that your forwards win them and your backmen save them. So I'm expecting that probably Glen Waverley will get over the line. But having said that, as Branny said, a lot of expectation on them, and they've not experienced it before, and that can play funny things on the mind, especially early. I think again you'll find Ferntree Gully will come out and go very, very hard early. And if that's the case, it'll be interesting to see if that puts them off their game at all.
And it'd be interesting to see if Ferntree Gully come out hard early and actually put goals on the board for a change.
Yeah.
It will really put the Glen Waverley Hawks on the back foot.
Definitely, yeah, especially after last week. They had those opportunities and didn't take them.
Certainly did. Ongoing with the Glen Waverley Hawks as well. I've just got a feeling that, as we said, this is their biggest game ever, but it's just about their time at the moment. They've set the team all year so that they can play in games like this. If they can get this one today, it's going to be huge for their confidence. I reckon they can do it. I reckon they can win through to their first ever slot in Division 3 next season. Three-quarter time here in the reserves at Division 1 qualifying final day. Currently it is East Ringwood all over Vermont in the qualifying final. East Ringwood 11 goals, 470, leading Vermont 3-7-25, and looking very much like they're going to be the ones that are going to go ahead and take on Scoresby in the reserves second semi-final next weekend. We're going to take a break from here at Bayswater Oval. We've done 6 of the 7 games this weekend. We're going to have a real good look at the 7th one after this break, which of course is our radio game, the Division 1 qualifying final between Blackburn and Scoresby. Both teams just going through their paces at the three-quarter time break at the moment on the ground. Let's cross back to Barry Cotts in the studios, take some supporter messages, and we'll be back right after this on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Of Wirecast. Of Wirecast. Of Wirecast. Of Wirecast.
Thank you very much, Barry Cotts. Welcome back out to Bayswater Oval. As we mentioned, three-quarter time in the reserves qualifying final here in Division 1. East Ringwood 11 goals, 470, leading Vermont 3-7-25. The Colts game early today was a win to Vermont 10-17-77, defeating Norwood, defeating Norwood 7-9-51, 26-point win to Vermont. We'll hear from their coach, Graham Hocking, on EFL Sunday in the morning. I've just got the coughs at the moment. It's every time we come back from a break or something like that. I think I must talk too much in the ad breaks. Division 2, the Colts game, the second semi-final. Lilydale have won straight through to the grand final. As expected, they were in the Division 1 Colts grand final last year. Doncaster made them work for it. Jake's just holding up a sign saying die quietly because it's not sounding too good coming down the airwaves. Lilydale 9-13-67, defeating Donvale by 6 points, 8-13-61. In Division 3, it was Baronia winning through to the grand final in the Colts, defeating Ringwood out in straight sets after pushing North Ringwood last week. Baronia 13-16-94, defeating Ringwood 9-6-60. We haven't heard from the Division 4 Colts game between the Glen Waverley Hawks and Surrey Park yet. And what we can tell you, three-quarter time in the reserves game in Division 3, Baronia looks set to head through to a grand final, 9-7-61, leading Doncaster 4-4-28.
Yeah, I would have expected that. I would have thought that Baronia were probably a little bit too good in the twos for Doncaster. Were unusual in their twos. We played them round 16, and they only had 20 in their twos, and we beat them by a lot, and their 18s nearly forfeited.
It helps. That's amazing because they really had the wood over our reserves this year, and our reserves were, quite strong at certain stages this year, and yet Doncaster come out and touched us up twice during the course of the season.
Yeah, I was very surprised at the second time we played them. So look, they may have. I'm not exactly sure what's happened out there.
It helped for Doncaster when we got to the ground last week and they were going through their stages, and you look up forward, you see Big Paddy Considine in the forward line in the reserves. So that plus Sean Byrne running around in the midfield, I thought, well, they're two players that would just about slot into any senior side. So to have them out there really helped.
Definitely. So look, it'll be interesting with Baronia, and now they have their 18s and reserves have gone through.
Meatloaf said 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but can they make it 3 from 3? We've also just got word through from the Division 4 Colts, and great work by you, John Brown, to keep us in the loop. Of course, Rob Davies, one of your old boys that you coached at Forest Hill, now with the Glen Waverley Hawks, letting us know that the Glen Waverley Hawks have ended Surrey Park's season in the Division 4 Colts, winning through to next Sunday, preliminary final, winning by 15 points.
Yeah, close game there, and obviously some good signs for Surrey Park.
Oh, without a doubt, I think that's fantastic for them. If they can keep all those boys and continue to add in through that feeder that they've got. And I think someone made a good point that it's only 3 or 4 years ago that Glen Waverley Hawks couldn't win a game.
Yep.
And now we're talking about them going straight through into third division, and with a fairly young list, probably being fairly competitive too. So it's about building from. They've taken the right step. They've built from below, and Surrey Park. If they can keep those kids and play them next year and get that 1 or 2 wins on the board, who knows what will happen in 4 or 5 years' time.
It is. It's really important that their Colts are coming through. And I know Andrew Toop, who's coaching down at Surrey, his brother was my assistant coach at Templestowe last year, so getting a fair bit of input of what's actually happening down at Surrey, and it's a credit to Andrew and his passion and commitment to the club to really make sure that he's there giving some stability even as a senior coach.
Definitely.
And I think that's created a really good, stable environment, and these kids can actually see that as they're coming through.
So word through from the Blackburn camp, team as named going in today. All 3 players named as emergencies, which includes Troy Takinen not playing. So they have now Troy Takinen not playing, Sam McCauley, torn ligaments in his leg. We can see him on crutches in front of us, just wandering in front of us here now. He did that last week as well. That leaves 2 gaping holes in the Blackburn backline for mine, going into a forward line that contains Steve Pym, Chris Hogle, Lukey McDonald and Kirby McConnell, amongst others, and also has the capability to push big Lukey Van Reen forward as in the resting ruckman role, which we thought we were very critical of in the finals last year, Davo, which we thought should have happened much more.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's, we spoke off air about the fact that Scoresby had a wonderful A game. Their A game was as good as I've seen in First Division, with their use of the football, their switching, their short passing. That was fantastic. But we spoke about the fact that when they played in windy conditions and wet conditions, that A game suddenly didn't work as well as what it should have. So I would think that if they've been able to manage to develop a second string a game plan, then that's certainly going to be the good thing for them. And I would think that Van Reenen forward, especially when you've got those two boys out of Blackburn, that can really hurt a side, because he is a one big man.
And especially in conditions like today, where it's quite dry, firm conditions. It is a fantastic day for big forwards to mark, and if they can actually send him forward and stretch Blackburn's defence, then they could really put Blackburn under pressure, and early in the game as well.
Oh, definitely. And I think probably when you look at him, the experience of Pim particularly, he's got that great experience. He's a wily campaigner. He's a beautiful kick and lead, and I would think that he's going to be particularly difficult to stop. Having said that, Blackburn didn't finish on where they did for no reason.
That's exactly right. And the gentleman that just slid in next to you, Brett Davidson, can tell us more about that, because joining us pre-match is the coach of the Blackburn Football Club. Very good afternoon to Steve Cochran.
Afternoon, boys.
Congratulations, mate. The highest ever home and away finish for Blackburn in Division 1. Back out onto Bayswater Oval. It's looking absolutely beautiful, sun-drenched at the moment. Last time you were here, of course, preliminary final day 2 years ago. Must be nice to get back to where it all happens in Division 1.
Oh, certainly. Last year we had a spell, and certainly it was pretty disappointing the way we finished off last year, but I think we all learned from that, and this year's been it's been a sensational year for us. So, it was great.
Certainly has. However, looking at this week's side, we've noticed, and the boys were talking about it just as you were coming up into position, a couple of real gaping holes in the back line today. Troy Tackenden, we've just been informed, hasn't come up for this afternoon's game. Sammy McCauley, we just see him wandering around on crutches below us, who has been by far and away the best fullback in Division 1 this year, without a shadow of a doubt. That's a couple of really big losses for you.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Look, you can't replace either player. Can't replace Sammy Mack. I mean, he's been awesome this year, provides a lot of run. He's come on in leaps and bounds. 3 years ago, had never played senior footy for Blackburn. He'd been a reserves player, and he worked on his fitness and worked on his strength, and he's just gone on leaps and bounds. So look, he's a massive loss for us. Can't replace him, but hopefully it gives another guy an opportunity to step up, and hopefully he can do good enough for us to be competitive today.
I think one of the things that I've noticed about your side, which I've been really impressed with, is the fact that it's not full of names. It seems to be just a really good, honest team that's worked really well together, and that if people sit down and look at all the other sides, and they can pull out all these different names, but Blackburn's that really tough side to break because of the fact of the evenness that you've got over the ground. And does that help in the fact that, okay, you lose two great footballers, but you seem to be able to maybe have the coverage to be able to work through a game plan that will enable you to obviously not have two stand up. No one's got a full-back that can just walk in off the street who says, yeah, I'm there. But be able to work the game plan to enable you to make coverage the best way you can.
Yeah, look, we've got a fantastic bunch of guys, and a philosophy of mine of coaching is making sure our players are versatile, that they can go forward and back, because as you know, things change in a game, and you need to mix things up. And look, circumstances happen that we can mix a few guys up and send a few guys back now, and like Johnny Milhusen will go back, and he's first and foremost a backman, but he hasn't really played back for us for a couple of years, so that's a good thing. And look, the group that we've got, there's no names, they play a role, but yeah, I think what you're seeing in EFL footy develop over the last couple of years is that in my time, it used to be just named players, and the best sort of talented players in that side would win you the game. Now it's the best team. And I think Scoresby and Norwood last year started that trend. I think we're very much like Scoresby. And then you see Knox today, who that are playing in their first final series tomorrow, who work to a game plan and play a team role. And Look, and there's plenty of other sides who've got a lot more talent, but now it's about team. It's team first, and if you haven't got a team first attitude with the Blackburn Footy Club, then you don't get a game, because everyone's got to play a role, a certain role, and then when you do have changes, then you don't see that much of a change, because there's just a certain role they have to play. So, that's where it's got us into this position now. Look, what happened during the year doesn't matter anymore. We're in finals. We're in a qualifying final at Bayswater. Last year we finished 7th. Who cares? We're going to take the game on today and give it our best shot.
Does the match 2 weeks ago come into your mindset at all? Is it something that you've basically been saying to the boys, forget about? Of course, 61-point loss to Scoresby. They kicked 12 goals in the first quarter. As of 2 weeks ago, Saturday night, did you basically wipe that from the slate and say, when we come up against them, it's going to be on a different arena, it's going to be different pressures, and it's basically going to be just a different game of football completely?
Look, like I pointed out, what happens during the year doesn't really... I mean, they lost East Burwood. Did they bring that up now?
Exactly.
No, it doesn't matter. Like, they're a great side. We know that. We had a great look at them. They spanked us in that first quarter. No two ways about it. But we learned a lot from that game. We've got five changes from that game. We'll have lots of run. Our guys are, they're ready for it, and let's hope that they come to the fore today.
Just a question in regards to the spread of forwards that you've had this year, kicking goals. It's something that's really stood out, and is it a focus of yours and your team to not be reliant on one key forward and really spread the load through your on-ballers actually running in and lowering their eyes and hitting up guys like Donatic and Fraser, Prendergast, and making sure that you've got that even spread across your team this year? Oh,
most certainly. I just don't think you can be a one-trick pony and have one guy that kicks all your goals. I think you need to spread it, make the opposition think. The half-back lines are very creative in this day and age of footy, so you need smart half forwards that kick goals, so it pulls the half-back line back to make sure that they're manning up. So we've certainly got to focus on trying to share it around. Look, if Fraser wants to kick 10 today and he's our only goal kicker and we win the game, I don't care, he can kick 10. So, so at the end of the day, look, it's not something I don't go out and say, right, I want to spread the load. We've just got some good players in smart positions, and they play their role.
It seems to me that over the last couple of years you've developed a real culture within the club, and they were a club that they were a bit hit and miss there for a while, and you've had your experience at Vermont, and you know what the culture's like at certain successful First Division clubs. Is that something that you've tried to bring in over the last couple of years while you've been there? Is this idea of a winning culture and a successful culture, and as you say, a team first culture?
Yeah, but probably started with the process, and that's about preparing and preparation, and to play Divi 1 footy, and it amazes me because some guys still try and challenge it. You have to live and breathe to want to be a footballer, and that's not just training 3 nights a week, and that's not just training during the year and at pre-season. That's like 24/7, 12 months of the year, really trying to be, I am a footballer, I eat right, I sleep right. Okay, I can party hard, but I'll train hard, do all those sort of things. And I've tried to instill that into the group, and they've really taken it on board. We've had my first year, we had a great year. We tried to test the footy gods next year, didn't work, went back to the drawing board, put some values and behaviours in place, and the group, to their credit, stuck to those values and behaviours, and that's driven our culture. So when people come in to our environment, this is what's expected. Whether you're played 200 games of AFL or 100 games of 4th Division footy, the expectation is you come to our club, this is the sort of level of fitness you have to be at, this is the preparation that's expected, and not only that, it's about our junior club as well. We make sure our senior footballers, they go to junior games, they take junior training. We have our juniors run out with us every home game, under 9s, 10s, 11s and 12s. We really we have our presentation day from under 9s right through to seniors, like jumper presentation. So we make sure that if that kid can't play AFL, everyone wants to play AFL, that he wants to play for Blackburn, and we're starting to grow a really community culture as far as that. Hopefully today you'll see some young kids running out, and I've got a lot of parents that come up to me now and say how they've really enjoyed watching the senior footballers, and it's the little things that make the biggest differences, and that might be getting the 11s to do warm up with us on one night of training, which I did, and the parents were ecstatic and the kids were ecstatic, and you know what, it cost us nothing, and it was like 5 minutes, so that's the sort of stuff I wanted to sort of teach our guys, that it's about the club, it's about the environment, and they've really taken control of that, and our leadership group's been fantastic. So hopefully when I finish up, that can be instilled with the group and carry on.
Very much loving the positivity coming from you today, Cockers. Let's hope that positivity spews itself onto the ground in about 20-odd minutes' time, because this is going to be a great game of footy. We can't wait for it. I know you can't wait for it. Best of luck for the afternoon.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Steve Cochran, the coach of the Blackburn Football Club. Lovely when a coach comes up and gives us so much before the game. Not saying that you two gentlemen don't, because you're very giving of your time on Radio Eastern, but it's great to see that 20 minutes before a final, you can get someone to be as forthright and honest as what Steve just was.
Oh, look, that's as good as an interview as I've had with a senior coach in a long time, and I would hope that I know Brownie's doing it, and I'll be doing it, writing down some of the notes that he spoke about with the way of development of culture, which was absolutely fantastic. And I was going to say to Steve that I had an example of a young kid that's a friend of my son who plays at Blackburn, had an opportunity to go to an AFL game, and said no, he had to go and watch the seniors play at Blackburn.
That's what we want to hear.
And and I was going to say to Steve, if 5 of those under-9s in 10 years' time play in the senior team, that's cost them nothing. And
I was just super impressed with the way he presented his club, the way he spoke about the culture, the development, and as Davo just said, he's walked away. I'm super impressed with the interview that he's just conducted with us.
Pressure's on then for the next one.
Certainly is, and I've been super impressed with this gentleman over his time, more on the field than off. Of course, who will forget just the running handstands he tried to execute that day, best on ground, performs his best in the big games. Very good afternoon to the Vice-Captain of the Scoresby Football Club, Mark Williams.
How's it going?
Very well indeed, Matt. Now talk to us about this big monstrous-looking thing you've got on your left foot at the moment that I'm not assuming, I'm saying, is precluding you from playing in today's game.
Yes, definitely. No, against Bourne, probably about a month ago, broke a bone in my foot.
We were at that game. I didn't notice it either.
No, it was in the last couple of minutes of the game, unfortunately, but that sort of thing happens, I guess. I've been pretty lucky over years of injury, but couldn't have happened at the worst time of year, I guess. So hopefully we'll see what happens, but it's not looking too good.
Still enough for you to actually be named in the side this week that Scoresby put online during the week. There was a number 29 in there.
Yeah, I was emergency, so I was hoping that not too many people got sick or injured before the game. There was no way known I was going to go to get out there.
It would have been a disaster if that had happened. Now, Willow, talk to us about your teammates going in today. You're coming into a different path in the finals this year, where obviously last year you finished on top and had the rest in the first week. This week you come and you play the first week. How's things been when you compare it to last year, basically the build-up around the club, and has it been any different knowing that you're basically going in and playing all the way through?
Well, it has been a little bit different. It's probably a bit more relaxed. Everyone sort of knows what to expect. Last year was everyone was like new to it, so this year was a bit more experienced. But the boys are pretty pumped for it, pretty excited, very determined to hopefully start off on a good note this week. And as Bowser said, that what happened during the season doesn't count anymore. It all starts again now, so hopefully the boys can get off to a good start today.
Has what happened last time you played here been mentioned at all at any stage? Not so much in the last week, but in basically the last 12 weeks of the season?
No, not so much now. Maybe pre-season, a couple of times at the start of the year, at the start of pre-season, it got mentioned just for a bit of inspiration, just to push the guys that little bit extra further. Like as we worked out, we lost the grand final, so everyone needed to improve that maybe 5-10%, and sort of drove everyone hopefully today to start on our way to redeeming what happened last year.
I had a look at you about 4 times last year, and one of the things, and it just so happened that each time we saw you was a different weather condition. It was either windy, or it was beautiful sunshine, or there was rain. I noticed that when conditions were good, I thought you were the best team as far as your structure that I'd seen for a long, long time. Your use of the football, your movement, the way you were able to just basically run nearly an 18-man zone up and down the ground the whole time. But when conditions changed, I just thought you struggled to, when the ball wasn't being able to be moved as well, you struggled to implement a plan B. Has that been looked on over the year about this idea that, if things aren't going right, what's our next thing that we can go back to? Is that something that Bowser's been looking at?
Yeah, definitely. I think Bowser had a few sleepless nights after the grand final last year, but yeah, he definitely has looked into that sort of thing, and we've got a few other tricks up our sleeve, hopefully, that we can pull out if Plan A doesn't work. But yeah, the press that we do, we train it right from the first night of pre-season, so that's why it probably works reasonably well most of the time. But obviously he's worked out that other clubs are starting to do it too, like Knox has implemented something similar, Norwood do a similar sort of game style, so we've got to tweak it and keep trying to improve it to try and stay ahead of the others.
How, not on this game, but how, from a spectator's point last week, watching against Knox, I believe.
Yep.
What was that like to watch as a game? Because I couldn't believe it when I looked at the paper and I saw such a fluent, high-scoring team like Scoresby against Knox, who we know play that full ground press. I thought it was an unbelievable scoreline. Was it an unbelievable game to watch?
Yeah, it was definitely different to the week before. 12 goals in the first quarter and then 6 for the match, and 2 in the last 5 minutes, so we're only 4 goals up to there. But yeah, Knox they played the game really well, really hard. They won all day. They just won those one-on-one contested balls that 50-50. They really put their body on line, and hopefully the boys this week step up and do what they did last week.
And in some ways that's something that playing a game like that where that one-on-one contested football is won is a really good lead into a final, because that's where finals are won, with that one-on-one contested footy.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes.
Just a question I have. You've got a very talented young list, and there's one guy that I guess I've seen play a little bit of football over the last couple of years that's joined Scoresby this year in Corey Mack.
Yep.
And I know he's come across from Ferntree Gully. How's he settled into the club? And obviously I've seen his name a couple of times in your best. Has he not only settled in, but where's he fitting into the team in terms of his best position, and what is his best in terms of giving to the Scoresby senior team?
Yeah, he's really vital to the team. Corey's come in and he's just one of those blokes who just wants to keep learning and improving. He's always asking Bowser questions and after the game what he can do to improve. And right from the start of the year, I think Dale watched him last year in the under-18s and had a couple of positions pinpointed for him, and he's just fitted in well. And just every week he just learns and gets better and better. And he's just a tack on the footy and the man. He's one of the best tacklers I've ever seen. He's only about 5'8" and 50 kilos wet, so. He's good.
Is he cheeky around the change rooms? He seems to come across as an opposition coach, a cheeky little player out in the ground. Does he have that vibrancy around the change rooms during the week?
He hasn't been too bad this year, but maybe that's because he's still maybe a little bit shy first year at the club. But maybe, yeah, could see him being a little bit of a cheeky bugger.
Yeah. and look, it's terrific to see a young kid like that actually, take the step up to First Division football and have any impact, which is fantastic for you guys at the club.
Definitely, because him and blokes like him today and Kirby McConnell and Chris Ogle, and I know Blackburn's got a few of those sort of players too that run hard in their forward line. Perfect day for them to hopefully one of them can have a day out for us and see how it goes.
Now, Willow, have you got any specific role this afternoon that Bowser's given to you at any stage?
Just keep encouraging the boys as they come on and off the ground, I think. And,
so there's no folder holding or anything like that?
No, I want to watch the game today. I was doing stats the last couple of weeks, but I stayed well clear of that. I actually want to watch the game and have a good look. So.
And there's no chance that the foot's going to come out of plaster in time to play a meaningful impact in the rest of the finals if Scoresby go further?
Well, I've got to get another X-ray in 2 weeks, which will be probably the week before that. So it's not looking good, but yeah, so... Oh well, next year. Hopefully the boys can do it.
Going to be very interesting to see how your teammates go about their business this afternoon. We wish them the best of luck. We wish you the best of luck with your recovery as well. We look forward to your boys getting around some action this afternoon and in future weeks.
No worries. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much to Mark Williams, the vice-captain of the Scoresby Football Club. And again, very forthright young gentleman who just likes celebrating on the big stage as much as he can. So thanks very much to Willow for coming up and joining us this afternoon. Now I'm going to try and watch him get down because they're closing the shutters on him, and I want to see him go down the steps with his crutches on. That'll be very amusing. So it is late in the final quarter, of the reserves game here. Vermont were marching back into this one, but it is Eastfield have just stemmed the tide, if you will, as I try and find the right expression. 13-4-82, leading Vermont 8-9-57. I can tell you in the reserves first semi-final in Division 4, Heathmont are through to a preliminary final. They have defeated the Glen Waverley Hawks by 14 points. 11-13-79, the Jets defeating the Glen Waverley Hawks 10-5-65. So 1 from 2 for the Hawks this afternoon. Heathmont perfect tune-up for their seniors, a nice little booster going into their senior game this afternoon. Another pre-match guest joins us in the box. It is the Colts coach of the Scoresby Football Club and also their development coach. A very good afternoon to Sean Kavanagh.
Thanks, Sean. Great to be here.
Very good to be here for you, I'd imagine, as well. Just having the week off, your boys, as well as the reserves going around next weekend. So got the chance to watch the Vermont versus Norwood game earlier today, I dare say?
Yes, we're all here. We had a bit of a run around with the reserves this morning and a nice breakfast and made our way up. So it was good to see Vermont go around again. They obviously got over the top of Norwood, but we hadn't seen them since round 2. So obviously a lot of water goes under the bridge. So we'll look forward to next week.
And a very hard game from all reports as well. I was in the Vermont rooms after the game and they were pretty worn out, they were telling us. They said that it's going to be tough to get up for next week, but Scoresby won't know what hit them, was the phrase that Graham Hocking used.
No, well, obviously, coming out, the sun's out, getting on the big deck at Bayswater, it's a heck of a lot different to our smaller home ground. So, we'll obviously face the same thing next week. So, no, it's something we've looked forward to, and that's the beauty of finals footy. You just look forward to the next challenge.
Sean, talk to us about the integration issues you're going to go through in the next 6 months with the EFL going from the current structure to an under-17s, under-19 structure. Of course, it helps keep your under-18s list together for another year, but also bringing up those under-17s as obviously the development officer at Scoresby. How are you going to go bringing those guys up from an under-16 age group into more of the senior ranks, in inverted commas, if you will?
Yeah, the communication through the junior club have been really positive because obviously there's been a little bit of a drop off there over the last couple of years. So we're really looking forward to working closely with the junior club and just re-establishing that 15, 16, 17s age bracket. So we have that flow of players, and obviously that strong relationship we have with St Simon's will continue. So that's been a fantastic relationship over many years and has seen us really healthy numbers coming through the door. And obviously, we do get some players come in and have a look, and we've worked really hard to establish a culture that attracts good people. And I think usually once they arrive, not too many have left, and it's probably seen in our reserves, predominantly Colts over the last couple of years, and they've filtered through to the seniors. So it's been a real team effort. So hopefully that the attraction of being part of our culture and our junior program will assist getting those numbers through the door.
One of the big things that was the catalyst for Scoresby when they came back up into Division 1 and the way you developed through winning that second division flag in 2007 was the way that you started to reintroduce the youth of the club through into the senior ranks. I know it's something that you've been very proud of, and as you look at the team today, there are a lot of former juniors. Your captain's a perfect example, Matty Krausick, of someone who's come up through the junior ranks into the Scoresby Footy Club and really helped bring them to the position where you have been over the last 12 months.
Yeah, look, totally agree with that. I did spoke at a luncheon during the season, and we just looked out through the window and we basically reeled off, in the reserves itself, there was something like 18 of the 22 had come through the Colts in the last 2 years, and we had close to a dozen to 15 in the seniors. So to see that come through, and obviously brothers of brothers, etc., now playing together, it was fantastic. The Van Reenen boys, and now, first ruck obviously in the seniors and in the resis now. So hopefully one day, a lot of them will get to play together. McDonald boys are together again as well, and another one in the 2. So McConnens now, there's 2 running around today. So that's 2 Hickses. So it's a real family affair, and they've been quality people around our club. So hopefully they'll take us forward in the next few years as well.
And that's one of the things that we were just talking before to Cockers about Blackburn. Similar with Scoresby is this, they're not full of all the well-known names. They're a really well-coached team. I thought they were really well-coached last year. They're not no-names, but they seem to have really developed a great culture within the club. And as you said, with all those juniors coming through and the 18s playing up, it saves you money. That's one of the other things. It means you're not having to pay money for some of these overinflated egos that tend to come out every now and again. Is that something that's been really... that the club's really focused on over the last couple of years? That's the way that they want to go. That's the way that they see as being the future of developing the right sort of team for First Division?
Yeah, absolutely. The early 2000s, when this committee, the current committee, and a large number of them are still on board now, came in and they just saw that, we couldn't compete money-wise with a lot of the real power clubs at the time. And it was just a direction that we wanted to take, and getting the right people into place. And just having that continuity as well, and consistency in the way we present our teams and the disciplines that we expect from them. and likewise, and as I mentioned earlier, attracting just good people because they're there to play footy. There's a lot of kids at sort of 16, 17 make a decision which direction they want to go. Are they playing footy to be social, or are they playing footy to really achieve? And I think we tend to attract those who are really keen to achieve. And especially, we've had such a fantastic last 3 or so years. The attraction's only going to become greater, hopefully. And and as you said, money-wise, it means that we're not having to fork out lots and lots of dollars. We're hopefully getting these kids with me for a couple of years, ingrain them into the culture of the club and their families, and hopefully the fruits of our labour are coming out at the moment.
Well, Sean, thanks for joining us pre-match day, mate. Best of luck for your Colts boys next week, and of course, as these reserves and the seniors going around this afternoon. A good time to be involved with the Scoresby Football Club. Very much enjoy it.
No, absolutely. Thanks for that, guys.
Thanks very much to Sean Kavanagh, the Colts and Development Coach for the Scoresby Football Club. We're going to take a quick break. We've still got James McLeod, the president of the Blackburn Football Club, to come up as I make 2 gaffes in the one sentence. We'll get to him after this break because we need to clear our commitments. We're just about set for game time. So let's throw it back to Barry Cox in the 98.1 Radio Eastern studios. And we'll be back with Blackburn President James McLeod right after this on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Thank you very much, Barry Cox. Welcome back to Bayswater Oval, where it is a win to East Ringwood in the reserves. They'll go, going to face Scoresby. There's that after-break cough once again. Going to face Scoresby in the second semi-final next weekend. 14 goals for 88. East Ringwood defeating Vermont 9-63. The Eagles will take on the winner between Blackburn and Norwood in the first semi-final next weekend. Joining us before this senior game, we have one last interview to get to, and what we are going to get this one in. We normally don't. We normally go through it here, but we're going to get the president of the Blackburn Football Club as his team, led by their skipper Jeff Ryan, run out onto the field. It's a very good afternoon to James McLeod.
Yeah, g'day, Sean.
Must be a very exciting experience watching the boys run out onto Bayswater Oval. As we mentioned with Cockers, it's been almost 2 years since we've seen this. It's your highest ever home and away finish. Must be a pretty good experience right now.
Yeah, it is. It's a great experience. I mean, last year was a disappointing year for the boys, and we were hit by a lot of injuries. We played 47 guys through the senior list last year. So we learned a lot from last year, and this year we're really Cockers that started the first week in November with the boys. And over summer we had the best part of between 50 and 55 pre-Christmas on the track before Christmas. So the squad, the whole club has been right behind getting to this part of the year right from November last year.
Scoresby boys just let out on the field by their skipper Matty Krozik as well. Talk to us a little bit about how the club's gone off the field this year. Of course, it's becoming more and more expensive to field a Division 1 club and to be successful in Division 1 as the years go on. Talk to us a little bit about the off-field measures that you've put in place this year, James.
Oh well, certainly it's tough, but we've done some creative things down at Blackburn, and in the sense that we had a team of the decade this year, and that was a fantastic function where we saw a lot of past players and officials come back, and presentation of a jumper, etc., which a fantastic night to see the old coming back to the club. We've got a 10-year reunion coming up of our last premiership, Division 2 premiership next year. We also have a number of fundraisers. We have a big luncheon on the AFL Grand Final Eve luncheon, which we have 200 down to at the Blackburn Football Club this year. We've only got a couple of tables left for that. Dave Roos-Jones, guest speaker this year.
Information in today's Eastern Footballer if we want to book.
Yeah, absolutely.
There.
So there's some of the things that we do. Very much social, very much family. I mean, the Junior Football Club has had a very successful year also. They're the second biggest club outside of Roval in the Eastern Footy League. We've got 330 kids running around for Blackburn. And so, you know, that's a tremendous story. So we're really coupled well with the juniors to do some creative things in making our club successful financially.
James, things going beautifully on and off the field for Blackburn at the moment. Not far away from a start in this game, so we'll let you get down there. We'll let you get amongst it.
Thanks,
we'll
boys.
let you enjoy the feeling of watching your club in a Division 1 final.
Thanks, boys. Have a great call.
Thanks very much to James McLeod, the president of the Blackburn Football Club. Thanks very much to the Templestowe Footy Club coach, John Brown, for joining us pre-match today, Brownie. We'll make this a regular occurrence every Saturday throughout the rest of the finals, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Really enjoyed it and looking forward to a big game this afternoon, and hopefully some exciting footy over the next month.
Best part is, mate, you now get to sit back on the balcony and watch everything in prime position.
Absolutely.
Although it's not the ultimate prime position, Lauren Wood, our EFL media manager, just tapping me on the shoulder at the moment, letting me know that if you're sitting at home listening to 98.1 Radio Eastern, get on your computer, get onto the EFL's YouTube channel. You will be able to watch this game live broadcast of Blackburn versus Scoresby on the EFL YouTube channel. Get it up in about 5 minutes time. We'll have the game going live for you. It's a bit of a test before the grand finals coming up in a couple of weeks. So Brownie, if it's no good live, jump on the computer and have a look at it.
No worries. Have a good call, guys.
Thank you very much. And Lauren's already shown, just by introducing this, that she's already superseded Stangitz, and he is a forgotten name in the EFL. That's what I like.
This will get back, so let me just frame that and say, Anthony, that was Brett Davidson that said that, not me. Let's have a look at this game very quickly, gentlemen, as we welcome into position the stats man for today's broadcast, Will Taylor. Wilbur, started off by giving us your tip in this big game between Blackburn and Scoresby.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for having me here for today's game.
The pleasure's all yours, let's be honest.
Bayswater Oval, and this will be a really tough game out between these top two sides other than Noble Park, but I just think Blackburn will win this game. I wasn't too convinced how Scoresby played last week against Knox, especially on the defensive press. I just think Blackburn should have this game, by about 15 points.
They should do. Davo, your tip, please.
I think that Scoresby will win this game purely because I think they've got the firepower up forward, and as the coach of Blackburn said, it's pretty hard to replace the two key players that are out at the moment for Blackburn, and I think Scoresby will just have the firepower.
And great to see also the host of EFL TV, ball and coach Daniel Harford, just sneak up onto the balcony and see how a real radio broadcast goes about things of a Saturday afternoon. So good afternoon to you over there, Harf. Enjoy the game today. Looking at what could be a potential opposition for next weekend. Team is just about set into place. We're just about set for a start in the Division 1 qualifying final. We can tell you it was East Ringwood that have won the reserves by 25 points against Vermont today, and Vermont who won the Colts by 26 points against Norwood. Let's welcome to the chair the man known all throughout the Eastern Football League as the Accurate One, my co-commentator for this afternoon. Very good afternoon to Brad Henderson. We might turn you on first, mate.
Thanks very much, Sean. Really looking forward to this game. Have been all week. And I'm tipping Scoresby, but I think that Blackburn are definitely not without a chance, and it should be a fantastic contest this afternoon in brewing conditions. Great finals weather, even though it's not quite September yet, it's definitely got that spring feel about it here at Bayswater today.
Word from Ringwood, Mick Aiken and Darren Sheen both starting in the square. Mick Aiken's kicked the first goal of the game for Heathmont. But let's kick things off here in the Division 1 qualifying finalist. Simbolan gets the first tap down for Bayswater. For Bayswater, it's at Bayswater. They're playing for Blackburn, isn't it? Yes. The ball goes forward. There's umpires just holding it up at the moment. There's going to be a bounce. Just Having a look at both sides, it looks very much like Blackburn kicking to the left of your radio dial in this first quarter. Scoresby going to the Mountain Highway end of the ground. Little handball comes out. Blackburn just getting a little kick off the ground. It's in the direction of Mandicos, gathered well by Scotty Goldsworthy out on the wing for Scoresby. Now Carafa. It's actually Blackburn going to the right of screen, I should say, going to the Mountain Highway end, because Ben Fraser has just taken a mark up on the wing. Slips it inside forward 50, looked for Steph Denedick, had to go off hands. Gives a little handball back now. Blackburn can go inside. Scoresby got all the numbers back though. They can just take their time, run it out of defence now, thankfully down the commentary side wing. Interesting looking kick, goes towards the boundary line. Kirby Connon was nowhere near it. The ball goes over for the first boundary throw into the game. Brett Davidson.
Yeah, look, that was actually a pretty smart kick as he looked down the ground. He saw that Blackburn had zoned off and had lots of options there, so he just decided to put it out of bounds cleverly.
So the ball thrown in. Marcius gets a nice little handball. Now Scoresby can release. Pins on the lead towards half forward. Wrestling away with Cruttenden. Does nicely on the U-turn. Kick inside forward 50. He's got the big target down there in the goal square. Takes a strong grab and Scoresby the chance to get it from a set shot inside 10 metres from goal. Inside the first couple of minutes, it looks like Jared Hicks that's going to have the shot. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, gentlemen. But Scoresby with their first shot and a beautiful entry by Stephen Pym and by the Scoresby boys further afield.
Well, that's the experience of Pym, and it was like he could have had a shot for goal, but he just put it up beautifully then, and perfect spot to put it in.
He does indeed, as the ball from point blank range has missed. Scoresby get the first score of the game. They are one behind 1 point. Blackburn yet to score. 2 minutes into the quarter on the Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard. Let's cross boundary side. Introduce our advanced break and clutch boundary riders for this afternoon. With Damien Watson is the EFL media manager, Lauren Wood.
Thanks very much, Sean. A perfect day here at Bayswater Oval for a final. We're expecting only a partly cloudy day here and a top of 17 degrees, so the stellar football conditions are continuing. The surface appears far more pristine than it did a couple of weeks ago, so it should be a splendid game. Starting on the bench for Scoresby, Corey Mack, Kirby McConnell, Justin Lachlan and Jake Dunn. Back to you, boys.
Thank you very much to Damien Watson on the boundary. That first score of the game was kicked by Ben Wilson, and he's pretty much been the best on ground both times at Blackburn and Scoresby.
We didn't hear Lauren there. Does she actually got grass under the Jimmy Choos yet?
Jimmy Choos don't come out at Bayswater, boys, but I've got concrete under in the just off the boundary here.
Thank you, Lauren, as the ball's at centre half forward there for Blackburn. And we'll just get who's on the Blackburn bench in just a moment as Jones takes possession, dishes off a little handball to Major. He was all wrapped up. Blackburn go forward through Fraser, who fires at the goals, and Ben Fraser kicks a great goal for Blackburn. Gets the Burners off to the perfect start, and Blackburn lead by 5 points, 3.5 minutes into the first quarter.
That's where you can see the pressure of the Blackburn forward half then was fantastic, and it was the turnover through that pressure that enabled them to kick that goal. And that's the sort of thing that Steve was talking about beforehand, about the fact that the contested football and the pressure that they need to exert can upset Scoresby. So a very good start for them.
I've got a feeling we're going to see a lot of this end-to-end free-flowing kind of stuff this afternoon as the ball's returned to the centre. Van Reenen got the tap down. Simbolan those sharks it, and Blackburn get the centre clearance. Mark that down, Wilbur. Good attacking off half-back time by Scoresby. They've got the stoppage. Now some aerial ping-pong action going on. Jones burst through. Couldn't take it with him for Scoresby. Free kick's been given away. It's going to go the way of the Magpies across half-back. So it is Scoresby.
Goldsworthy.
Thought it was. I was going to run with it, but I thought I'd just wait for the accurate one to pump me up as Goldsworthy went towards centre wing. Luke McDonald couldn't take the mark. Slipping in was the player who did very nicely going forward. Off hands, Cruttenden taps it away from Pym, but Pym at the back of the pack uses those soccer skills that he tried to get up in the last couple of years touring around Europe to good use. But in the end, it's just gone through off the post for a behind. 2 behinds, 2 points, Scoresby. Blackburn 1 straight 6. Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard, 5 minutes, opening quarter, Brad.
Neil Hewson brings the ball back in for Blackburn and kicks to the outer side of Bayswater Oval, which is the Bayswater Road side of the ground. And we'll have a boundary throw in just in front of a very large Blackburn contingent watching the game on. Cross takes possession, hands it off to Legg. Legs kick hugs the boundary and is intended there for Forzik.
Just a quick number update. Ben McDonald wearing number 11 this afternoon. Scoresby had him on their team sheet as 22, so we'll just change that one as we go along so we can actually call Ben McDonald, who I missed streaming down the wing just then.
No worries, thanks Sean, as Wilson swings the ball up towards the wing position and fisted over the boundary line. So another throw in. 4-point lead to Blackburn. 1 goal on the board for them so far. That was kicked by Ben Fraser. And just 2 behinds for Wilson and Pym for Scoresby. As very high ball. Looking for McConnon. Such a dangerous forward in this Magpies team. Tui shoveled out a handball. It was intended there for Ryan, who copped a heavy shepherd. And the free kick has been... No, in fact, the ball just over the boundary line there. So another throw-in out of sight of Bayswater Oval.
They can get this out-of-side stuff out of their system early, hopefully, start playing the scoreboard side. Anthony Stangett's Memorial Binoculars getting far too much use early in this game.
Players converge over the footy. And Julian Petrarca there just helping a teammate up. He's very damaging off that left foot. In fact, both the Petrarca boys, Robert's a right footer, Julian a left footer, and they're both really long, penetrating kicks. Look, that'll be a feature of Blackburn's game today if they can get their hands on the footy. As Parker is off and running for Scoresby. Lovely pass. Honoured the lead of Pym. And Pym takes the mark just inside the boundary line. About 40 metres out from goal for Scoresby.
He's already the danger man as far as I can see. He's had 3 quality possessions already, and they go to him. He's dangerous. He's experienced. He uses the ball pretty well.
And is it me, or does he seem to have half a yard on Ian Cruttenden?
Yeah, definitely.
High ball by Pym, right to deep in the heart of the goal square and touched over the line for a minor score. So as Tom Farrelly comes on for Blackburn, first change from the bench made for them. It is Blackburn 1 goal. Scoresby at 3 behinds, Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
And I think Blackburn will be fairly happy with this start, especially with the fact that I think they've been very, very hard at the football, and I think that's something that they've made a certain effort at. And I think their coach will be pretty happy with their start.
So the Burners bring the ball back in. They find the outer side. It's going to be a free kick because it's over the boundary line. No one touched it, so Scoresby get the free. They go in the Pym direction again. Also Hicks is down there. Neither of them get the ball and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. So it is at Blackburn, 3-point leaders. Scoresby have had 3 scoring shots to 1 though in the opening quarter. Both coaches just rotating their side for the first time today. Host of interchanges going on as Carafa gets the handball over the footy. Milhusen now can give. Wilson back to Prendergast. Prendergast on centre wing for Barone. You can deliver towards half forward. Goes in the Denedic direction. He does nicely. Had 2 on him. Did well. Slipped the ball in towards the man in Michael Rainey, who couldn't control the footy. Now Scoresby. Interesting looking possession. They're playing around with it on defensive 50. They need to hold it up. They do. The umpire calls for a bounce 50 metres out from their defensive goal. Great forward pressure from Blackburn then, I thought, to keep the ball in. So the ball thrown up. Van Reenen just with the height advantage gets the tap down. Prendergast did well at ground level just to put some body on course because he tried to get the footy out and it spills over for another boundary throw in. Scoresby gained probably 15 metres. It'll be 65 around from the Blackburn goal.
Tom Farrelly hurt there for Blackburn on his haunches, hands on hips, in just sucking in the big ones at the moment.
So the ball thrown in, crosses over it, now it squeezes out to McCubbin. He's around the body kick though, wasn't very good at all, out of bounds on the full. A chance for Scoresby to release off their half back line, Brad.
Yeah, they will do so from their defensive 50. High kick to the wing. There's a lot of players there for Blackburn, they seem to have the numbers. Worsteling with the shepherd, now he takes possession, just out a little handball to Petrarca. And a push in the back paid against Scoresby there, so the free kick will go to Robert Petrarca for Blackburn. He says, what about the 25? In fact, it's Julian Petrarca. Long left foot kick, working his way back was Hicks. Fraser takes possession now. Around the corner, 2-on-1 contest. Denedic was outpointed that time by McDonald. Ball on the deck here for Blackburn. Prendergast got a little handball in. Cross though, took possession for Scoresby. Gave it to Major. Kick up towards the half-back position. Lachlan applies a tackle, dispossessed his opponent and has earned the free kick there. So Justin Lachlan, free kick for Scoresby. Goes in short. Neat pass. Ball on the outer wing. Shocking kick though. Mack takes possession. Had the presence of mind to gather it in and give it off to McConnon. Now it's with Lachlan. He's pushed in the back. He'll get another free kick here, Justin Lachlan. Doing well early. It's been a great inclusion into this Blackburn team, into this Scoresby team this year. Very high kick by Lachlan. Milhusen came from behind with the fist. McCubbin dishes it off. Chain of handballs here for Blackburn. Windle out of defence. Neat pass and he hits Denedick on the chest. So Blackburn deep in their defence. Lead offer there by Carafa. That was ignored. Now Carafa gets the handball from Denedick. Carafa's searing left foot pass. Looked good off the boot, but it's carried over the head of Wilson, over the boundary line, and we'll have a boundary throw in just in front of the scoreboard here at Bayswater Oval, which says Blackburn 1 goal, Scoresby 3 behinds.
That was a classic Scoresby press then, who just brought the ball up, but it didn't allow Blackburn to bring the ball out of defence easily, and ended up being a poor choice to go back across goal to really back into that same back pocket.
They had to try and unswitch their switch as Wilson streams out of the back line of the Adam variety, had no one to kick to. Helping the ball over the boundary line was Paddy Tompkins for Scoresby. We're going to have a throw in right on centre wing, right at the entrance gates here at Bayswater Oval. It's almost 12 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's a 3-point lead to Blackburn. The only goal of the day through Ben Fraser. Ball comes back in, Hicks. Fed the handball out. Good work by Tui. He's the only one that wanted to go in and go and get it for Blackburn. Tried to get the handball over the top that time. Marcius just stuck a hand up though, averted the ball's natural flight path, and it goes over for another boundary throw-in. So as you'd expect, a pretty congested start, as most finals tend to be. It's thrown in once again. Hicks, the tap down. Blackburn launching themselves forward. Fraser just couldn't control the footy on the half volley. It goes over for yet another boundary throw-in, Brad.
I just ask the boundary riders down there when they get a chance, Damien and Lauren, what the voice is like out there. Is there a lot of voice from the two teams, a lot of spirit early in the game, or are these two sides just feeling each other out at this stage?
So the ball back over the boundary line. Again on centre wing. Blackburn a 3-point advantage. Ball thrown in. Hicks got over the top that time to get his hand on it. Cross at ground level, drag that one in. Umpire didn't see it. He's going to call for the ball for another bounce.
It's an unusual game in that there's a lot of one-on-one football here. There's you look across the ground and everybody's in a one-on-one situation, so it's very different to what we're used to from both sides, really.
So the ball's thrown in once again. Good work by Hicks, just thumps it out of the pack and thumps it forward for Scoresby. Excuse me, towards half forward. At ground level, I do need one of those, Jakey. Thank you very much. Good to see Powerade coming to the party again this afternoon. We'll have a ball up. Some of that product into me as Blackburn 3-point leaders. Is the umpire paying something? I heard some whistles. No, it's just Thomas Warby coming onto the ground. They had to alert to the fact that Oranga was coming on. So the ball thrown up. Now Scoresby can move it inside forward 50. This is where they're dangerous. Arching the back that time and having a flying shot at goal. I think Brady McConnon's kicked his first, is it? It is. Yep. Brad Henderson tells me. And if Brad says it's right, then it's bloody well right. As McConnon gets his first on the board. And Scoresby are away for the afternoon. They're 1 goal, 3-9. Blackburn are 1 straight order. Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
Well, you really couldn't pick that was going to occur, that the game was going to open up just like that. Just a contested possession outside the loop. McConnon ran forward, got the possession, had a bit of space, and it was a nice finish by him. So, yeah, really a goal out of nothing, which is a bonus for Scoresby then.
Umpire tosses it up in the middle, uncontested. Van Reenen that time in the ruck contest tried to palm it down to McConnon, the goal kicker. Out of the middle, Tui. Up and under kick, wasn't his best effort. Denedick in the box seat, had front position, just couldn't quite reel in the mark. Strong tackle applied now, and Scoresby Dodger in the box seat.
Just didn't use his body well enough, did he?
No, he didn't. He struggled a bit against Scoresby the first time round this year. He was well beaten that day by Jared Major. He'll be looking to find his best form today. He kicked 4 goals last week in the match against East Burwood, so he does bring some pretty solid form into this match. Boundary throw in.
It's not a bad switch to bring Pim off and Chris Hodel to come on. And going, not going forward, going into a half zone position, so it means he's got to be picked up.
Strong tackle applied, Sean, there by Warby. Out of defence, Tompkins' kick, but it's been chopped off. Front position was owned there by Vansittart. Zach Vansittart is up his options, floats the ball forward. A couple of burners compete with each other really for the mark and spoiled themselves there. So we'll have a ball up. Prendergast comes up with the footy, but the umpire says, I'll ball it up. Tosses it up now. Van Reenen going up against McCubbin in the ruck, and free kick goes to Van Reenen. Didn't see much in that one, Davo.
No, not at all.
Straightforward ruck contest. High ball by Van Reenen, fisted down by Vansittart. Loose ball now. Favours Scoresby. Jones there was bundled over the boundary line. It was league, in fact, and we'll have a boundary throw in broadcast side of Bayswater Oval. Very vocal crowd here at Bayswater today.
A very vocal commentator too. I can't stop coughing.
Boundary throw in. Parker with a big bump. McCubbin. Wilson takes possession, tucks the ball under his arm, but he's going to have to bring it back. Not a popular decision, that one, with the masses. And the free kick goes to Corey Mack. Colts best and fairest, league best and fairest for Scoresby in the Colts last season. Great fly there by Krosick, who even on a day like today still wears the half sleeves. High ball from Krosick, but not. Gee, it set Wilson a very hard task. He came crashing through from behind. Rainey, Cruttenden, Windle, out to Fraser. Fraser under pressure, and his kick has found the boundary line. And the pressure was really on the Blackburn defence there. It's a 3-point lead to Scoresby.
I liked Krosick's kick. He put it to the exact spot. It's just maybe Ben Wilson, who's had more experience as a defender, didn't quite know how to crash the pack and take the mark.
Well, he certainly didn't know how to crash it properly, but he had
a crack at it.
He certainly had a crack at it.
So the ball back in play now. Scoresby bursting inside their forward line. Tried to give the little handball. Blackburn up to the task though as Windle cut it off. Now they just work the ball back. They're hopefully going to switch it towards our broadcast side. It's dangerous, but it's okay because Cruttenden has taken the mark in literally the last line, deep in the goal square.
This is where Scoresby's zone is generally pretty good.
Cruttenden goes out towards the Bayswater Road side of the ground. Just overrunning at that time was the young man in Corey Mack for Scoresby. Allows Blackburn in. They're going to get the free kick and the advantage. Now they can stream towards centre half forward. Got the player one out, delivers beautifully, and Steph Denedy takes the diving mark. He can line it up for Blackburn's second of the day. Man on the mark standing 45 metres out from goal.
Well, if you're going to bring the ball into the forward line, that's the way you need to do it. If you don't have the big, strong marking forwards, spread it out, give them plenty of space, put it into that semi-fat side kick, and very nice mark. And now he's got to make sure that he gets the goal, which he gets it. Though 2 goals is a very good start for them.
It is indeed 20-minute mark, first quarter, Division 3, North Ringwood 3-2, Baronia 2-1 as Denedic puts his kick on the way and puts it straight over the goal umpire's hat. He's got his first, Blackburn have got their second, and at the 19-minute mark of the first quarter, it is Blackburn 2 straight 12, Scoresby a 1-goal 3-9, Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
Yeah, that was a lovely kick for goal then. Beautiful. And, you'd be sitting back now saying at the 90-minute mark, a few weeks ago it was 12 goals in the first quarter to Scoresby. Today it's 1. I'd say they'd be a pretty happy camp at the moment, Blackburn.
Absolutely, 3-point lead to Blackburn, courtesy of that goal there by Stefan Denedic. Back in the middle. Loose ball, socket off the ground, favours Blackburn. So up towards half forward, Petraka. Now it's with Carafa. Ryan Carafa tries to beat the tackle of Goldsworthy, couldn't do so. Vansittart puts the ball to the top of the square. Great kick, great vision and excellent execution as well. And the target there has been found.
Michael Rainey.
It is Michael Rainey, thank you, Sean. No, in fact, it's Worsterling.
Close, 31, 34.
46.
No, I'm nowhere near it. I'm just trying to justify myself, bro.
So Jared Worsterling walks in, fires at the goals. Has he snuck it home? He has. And and that was great footy from Blackburn. It was Ryan Carafa who set that goal up. He deserves the goal. It's gone on the sheet to Jared Worstling, of course. Blackburn lead by 9 points. 3 straight goals, and Scoresby at 1-3-9. We're into time on here in the first quarter at Bayswater Oval, Davo.
Yeah, look, that was just a beautiful open forward line then, wasn't it? They booked the ball in, and suddenly there was only 3 there, and 2 of them were Blackburn. The key to this at the moment is this contested football, and Blackburn have been very, very good at the contested football in this first quarter.
And they do it again from the stoppages. They get the first ball. Hasn't cleared the centre yet though, Wilbur, so don't mark that one down as Scoresby work well off the backside of the centre square. Kick it out onto the wing, it clean bowls Lachlan, then gets met heavily by Denedick. McConnell was equal to the task though. He flicks it out towards leg. Tried to find the young man in Adam Parker. Beautiful handball in towards McConnell, who can fire from 50 metres out on the run. Behind is Wilson. Needs 2 grabs at it. Tries to claim it. Umpire says no. Pim, he's working hard. Ball over the boundary line. And for another boundary throw in Division 4. We can tell you it's South Belgrave 3-2-20 leading Heathmont 2-1-13. Todd Burley running off Darren Sheen at every opportunity in the South Belgrave backline. Lucas Appleby's kicked 2 of the 3 goals so far for the Saints. Ball thrown back in. Umpires calling for it. We're going to have another ball up. So it's about 15-20 metres around from the Scoresby goal. They'd love another one before quarter time. They currently trail by 9 points. Try to work the ball out of the pack. Tui did nicely for Blackburn. Kicks around the corner. Worstling. Man who's just kicked the last goal. Tried to show McConnon a clean set of heels. In the end, sloppy tackle by McConnon. It's gone over his shoulder, and Worstling's going to get the free possession across halfback.
They just seem to be a little bit stronger over the football at the moment, don't they, Blackburn? Just even then, when they picked the ball up and broke that first tackle, it was just nice strength over the contest all the time.
Worstling's kick's cut off though. Scoresby can go towards half forward, but Worstling gets it back almost in kick-to-kick fashion. He gave to Mandikos. He couldn't get a clear handball away. Umpire's going to call for it here. We're going to have another ball up, Brad.
You know, Brett, having watched a couple of games at Blackburn, the ground they play on is one where you've got to be good at the contested footy because it is pretty confined spaces, particularly on the wings. So they are always good in those in and under, close football. And I reckon that is somewhere, where they have an advantage perhaps over Scoresby today.
Holding the ball, free kick paid. Scoresby get it going forward. Goldsworthy goes around the corner. Now they're inside forward 50. Pims the target. Tried to get the grab, couldn't do so. Good work by Blackburn. Bum can just slip one around the corner. Shouldn't need the binoculars for this one because it's almost in front of us. Really did well to dispossess. Then going in hard with the don't argue was the Blackburn player. He's given it away. The free kick is going to go to him actually. What's the umpire doing? He's telling Ryan Carafa to get out of the way. The free kick went to Blackburn. I thought he paid. He pointed Scoresby. It was going to go to Brad Jones. Where's Nashi?
Should have been. It should have been. Yeah, that was a don't argue that was a little bit higher than it should have been.
The ball's on centre wing now. Daniel Harford not happy with the decision either. Ball travels towards half forward for Blackburn. Scoresby equal to the task defensively where Luke McDonald takes a strong mark. Quickly goes back. Finds brother Ben. So the McDonald boys teaming up. Switch play now. Nice mark taken by Brenton Legg. So Legg at half back. Can go down the line towards centre wing. Kirby McConnon's his target. Takes the uncontested mark. McConnon on centre wing. Just waiting for some options to come. Hasn't really got a lot of movement forward. Got a host of players 20 metres away from him, which is probably too short to go to. Instead he went long towards Pim and Cruttenden. Cruttenden did well at ground level. Can start up some run for Blackburn. Here's Wilson. Slips the ball over the top, looking for Prendergast. Sat it up nicely. Now the 2-on-1 contest. Good shepherd by Benedict. Allows Prendergast just to carry that ball. Carafa ran himself into trouble. Should be gone. Isn't gone. Crowd want it. Sean Cross had to go one way. They got caught in the tackle. Caught for holding the ball. Red hot today, these umpires. So we're going to have a free kick going the way of Michael Prendergast. Quarter time in Division 2. Roval 3, 119, leading Willydale 1 behind, 1 point. John Brown gives me that ever-knowing look. Carafa's coming off in the arms of trainers for Blackburn. Now they can go forward. Rainey gets it off the pack, fires and finds Petraka. This is Robbie Petraka. Blackburn players get back forward now, slips it in towards where it looked like the player running was Worstling, but it didn't matter because it's off hands. Through for one behind. Scoresby's first for the day. They're 3-1-19. Blackburn a 1 goal 3-9. 25-minute mark. Opening quarter. Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
I tell you what, there was some nice physical clashes there in that last couple of minutes, and some of the boys have come off a little bit worse for wear, but you can see Blackburn when they go forward, they like to bring the ball into the far side and have players running onto it. That nearly worked with Worsteling then.
Thumping kick in was intended there for McDonald. Vansittart to Rainey. High kick, but working his way back then was Dunn. Jake Dunn goes in short. Blackburn, Scoresby just teaming nicely here. Corey Mack. Out of defence goes short. He's had his kick smothered by Robbie Petrarca, who lets him know all about it. And that is a free kick. That's a stupid play by Robbie Petrarca. He gave the hand in the face. It's an obvious free kick. The umpire standing right there. And Mack went to Marcius.
And unfortunately, as good a player as Robbie Petrarca is, he is susceptible to those brain face at times.
He sure is. McDonald to Dunn. He's a fiery customer, but that was it was going to be a boundary throw-in, and then it's just cost his team the footy. McDonald gives the handball off. Dunn to Jones. Ball at half-back for Scoresby. Can they work it out of the area? McDonald shoveled it out. Petrarca tries to hunt down the footies. Fired up now. Kick hugging the boundary line. It's still in play though. Worsteling a strong tackle. And siren sounds as Blackburn lead by 10 points. Quarter time siren has sounded. Blackburn 3-1-19 at Scoresby, a 1-goal 3-9. That quarter, not a particularly long one, just under 27 minutes it went for, and it is a 10-point lead to Blackburn at quarter time on the Hogsborough Cafe scoreboard, where for Blackburn, goals to Fraser, Denedick and Worsteling, and for Scoresby, Wade McConnell has the only goal of that first term. Brett.
Yeah, look, I thought, as I've spoken about in the call already, the pressure of Blackburn, I think, has been fantastic. I think one of the things that's had an impact on is that I don't think the around-the-ground kicking of Scoresby has been as clean as what we've seen in the past, and that's probably due to the pressure that Blackburn are employing. I like the way that Blackburn have structured up in their forward line. I like the way they bring the ball into that forward line. Their height a little bit better. Van Reenen's got to become more involved. He's great in that first ruck tab out, but then he's not being used around the ground at all. They're not going to him at all. So I think he's got to watch the way that Scoresby bring the ball into their forward line. They're just tending to bomb it a little bit and getting caught out with the fact that Blackburn, while they're not full of names, they're just playing their role extremely well. I think it's a pretty 10-9. I think Blackburn played the better quarter of footy. I expect Scoresby to come out and maybe just structure up a little bit differently. I'd push Van Reenen forward, like we talked about last year. I don't think the ruck contests are that important.
Played the same record from 12 months ago, Davo.
Yeah, push him forward, really put that Blackburn defence under pressure and see what they can do there. But good quarter of football, good quarter of finals football, and certainly a good quarter of pressure footy.
Well, Taylor, let us know all the stats that matter from that opening quarter of the Division 1 qualifying final, please.
Yes, let's have a look at it. Marks inside 50, Blackburn 2, Scoresby 1. The kicks 38-42 in favour of Scoresby. The handball 33-23 in favour of Blackburn. The possession count 71-65 in favour of Blackburn. The clearance is 12-10 in favour of Scoresby. Centre clearance is 4-1 in favour of Blackburn. The hit-outs 17-12 in favour of Scoresby. The free kick count 7-5 in favour of Scoresby. And the inside forward 50s 9-all.
Thank you very much, Will Taylor. Just looking at the lolly barrel over there, I noticed all the killer pythons are gone. It's at the complete wrong end of the table. I think even Filthy Phil Merton just seagulled his way in there as well to do a bit of damage to it. But it is quarter time here in the Division 1 qualifying final. Let's quickly go around the grounds in Division 4. Heathmont 4-3-27 at quarter time. Lead South Belgrave 3-3-21. 2 goals at Aitken, 2 goals Sheen, 2 goals Appleby in the first quarter. In Division 3, Brownie's just given us word. Coming through, Baronia 5-2-32. Leading North Ringwood 3 goals 2-20 early in the first quarter. In Division 2, it's Roval 3-1-19. Leading Willowdale 1 behind 1 point at quarter time. And here in our radio game, it is Blackburn 3-1-19. Leading Scoresby 1 goal 3-9 at quarter time. We're going to cross back to Barry Cox in the studio with some messages from our valued sponsors. Then we're going to come back with all of the second quarter action in the Division 1 qualifying final right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Thank you very much, Barry Cox. Perfect timing as both teams about to set themselves up for start in this second quarter. Got some AFL scores as well. Quarter time down at Skilled Stadium. Sydney 3-1, leading Geelong 2-5. 2-point lead to the Swans. Closer to home, Hawthorn have the lead over the Western Bulldogs at quarter time. The Hawks 3-3, the Bulldogs 2-2. Siren starts to start this second quarter. Congestion in the middle of the ground. Ball doesn't look to be going anywhere. Umpire blows the whistle, calls for a ball up. Good chance to cross boundary side for our advanced brake and clutch services for our boundary riders, Lauren Wood and Damien Watson. See what the coaches had to say at quarter time, please, Lauren.
Thanks very much, Shawnee. I tell you what, Stevie Cochran could not have been more positive at that quarter time break. He was very happy with everything that Blackburn were doing, obviously culminating in their 10-point lead at the first break. So he was happy with their intensity. He was really happy with their pressure, but made it pretty clear that they're going to have to focus on the basics if they are to maintain that lead throughout the rest of the game.
Thanks, Lauren. Scoresby players at the quarter time huddle. They must increase their numbers to the ball carriers and congestions, and he emphasised to his players that they must win the contested football and force numbers to the outer side to prevent the opposition switch. Back to you, fellas.
Thank you very much to Damien and Lauren for advanced break and clutches. Scoresby try and bring the ball out of their back line. They find Ryan Tui, a half back. Had a punter through in our text line, 0410 495 582. Send us a text today. Not happy with the Pies here at Bayswater. They've been a highlight of the season. They featured in Darren McKenzie's votes. Today, though, they've come straight out of the microwave into the pie warmer, and there's some people here at Bayswater Oval not happy about it. Back on the footy, though. Pies are serious business here, Wilby. You know that while you're shaking your head. Go back to the footy, though. Scoresby go inside their forward line. Nice saving mark taken by Egan Cruttenden for Blackburn. Quickly passes it off. They're still 50 metres out. Now they can find Carafa. He gives the ball off hands at half-back. Worsteling on the wing. Tries to slip it into Mandicos. Did okay on the half volley, then got dispossessed. Flock of Magpies around the footy. Almost had it cut off though. Marcius went in hard. Worsteling just as hard to get it. Now this is the man in Jones who gets caught up in the tackle. And we're going to have another ball up. Just had to take the headphones off for a minute. Lauren Wood's come looking for scores so she can tweak them. I've got them all, so there's the score sheet, Woody. Ball's thrown up. We'll go through them all again in a minute. Scoresby trying to go forward. Now they do. Nice work up towards half forward, one-on-one. McConnon leading in the race. Just lost his feeding at the crucial moment. Tries to give towards Pim, who charges out, kicks around his body inside forward 50. Wilson almost had it cut off. Now the foot races on. Jones just overran it at the crucial moment. Blackburn get the numbers back. Interesting looking kick for touch. It's tried to disguise it. It's ended up working okay. Worstling tried to go off the ground. Good work by Krausick just to hold it up. Now coming in hard over the football that time was Jay Windle. Blackburn can move it forward where Rainey, takes the uncontested mark on centre wing. Vermont reserves next Sunday. Who will they play at Ringwood? Not sure. We haven't seen the... I was going to say we haven't seen the winner come through, but of course that game's being played tomorrow. It'll be either Blackburn or Norwood that they will play next Sunday at Ringwood, Vermont.
That was a great play down here, wasn't it, to bring the ball back out of defence by Blackburn.
Jay Windle,
Ball thrown in. Simbolan at the front of the pack. The cross sharks it for Scoresby. Wobbling kick, well done by McConnell. Tapped it well, but good tackling as well that time by Adam Wilson, who's got a huge job today on Kirby McConnell. Harry Potter's set up his camera just in front of us, trying to take photos of umpires as Scoresby work hard with the ball on their forward 50. It's going to be a ball up. He's got right in my calling space, Harry Potter, that's all right. He's done well, he's moved. The ball's thrown up, thanks Chris. Scoresby pretty crude that time. I was going to go for a push in the back for Tracker instead. The umpire went for over the shoulder. The free kick's going to go the way of Adam Parker.
There's no need for that really. It was just
none
a simple
at all.
Non-contest that didn't need to have a silly free kick.
Parker put the footy up high inside the forward line. Kick to a 2-on-1 though. Carafa can run away with it for Blackburn. It's been good early. Kicks in the direction of Petraka on that centre wing, but the footy goes over the boundary line before it can get a hold of it. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Inside forward 50 so far, Scoresby 4, Blackburn 0.
Thanks for that, Wilbur. Score hasn't changed from quarter time, still a 10-point lead to Blackburn. The ball once again goes over the boundary line for a boundary throw in quarter time at Division 2. Roval 3-1-19, we're leading Lilydale 1 behind 1 point. In Division 3 it's Baronia by 2 goals. They're 5-2-32 and North Ringwood at 3-2-20. And in Division 4, Heathmont 4-3-27, leading South Belgrave 3-3-21.
Thank you, Sean, as the mark is taken there by Pim, and he just judged that one better than his opponent. Marked it on his chest in the end. Now, he hasn't wasted any time, Stephen Pim. He waltzes around, fires at the goals. Very laconic then in the way he approached the chance to kick a goal there. Then, and in the end, he probably should have done better. Minus score for Steve Pim.
They just look like they're rushing it a little bit, don't they, Scoresby? It's like they're just not on their game, and whether that's Blackburn's defence or whether they're feeling a little bit of the pressure, I'm not sure.
Great tackle. Sorry, Sean.
No, that's all right. Kick in was botched. Great tackling. Free kick going to go the way of the Doc. I think it's going to go at Matty Krausick. He's going to have a shot at goal from almost point-blank range. The skipper of the Scoresby Football Club set up. Sorry, Davo, we broke into your train of thought.
No, that's right. And look, and that was a great tackle, but he needs to nail this. As Wilbur said, they've now had the ball inside their 55 or 6 times to nil. They've got to start hurting them on the scoreboard.
So this is Matty Krausick, captain of the Scoresby Football Club. Going to shoot this one on about a 45-degree angle, 30 metres out, goes with the right foot, low kick, looks okay though. In the end, it's gone over the goal umpire's hat and through for the first goal of the quarter. Captain's goal by Scoresby, moved to 2-4-16, 3-1-19 Blackburn, 6.5 minutes second quarter. Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard, word through from Ringwood. Tommy Hallinan did not take his place again for South Belgrave today, Davo.
Oh, that means they're doing well if that's the case. They're still leading and he's not playing, because he certainly would be a very damaging player at Ringwood.
Well, the kick there from Matty Krausick, it didn't look great off the boot, but had the desired result. And the first goal of the second quarter, as Blackburn now lead by only 3 points. Vansittart takes possession. Handball's intended there for Bunn. It was intercepted over the boundary line.
So if you look at the Blackburn back half now, if you put Van Roonen down in that goal square, that just changes their dynamics completely. And resting him on the ground, I don't see the value of bringing him off the ground all the time. But
No.
agree with that.
We just had someone on our text line ask us who the Colts winners were today. It was Glen Waverley Hawks in Division 4, Baronia in Division 3, Lilydale in Division 2 and Vermont in Division 1 as Blackburn moved forward again. Nice handball by Rainey. Finds the man coming through that time who got caught in Zach Vansittart. And now Scoresby couldn't release. Worsteling though drops the mark. Through tackling attempt that time though. Paid over the shoulder. I had it as a push in the back 9 times out of 10, but either way, it results in a free kick to Worsteling, given away by Chris Hogan. Ran too far though. I haven't seen that one paid in quite a long time, but he was well and truly right. Jared Worsteling ran more than his fair share and just gives away the football to Scoresby right in the centre of the ground. They can go towards half forward. Pym was the target. Good use of the body by Cruttenden though. Just knocks Pym off the footy and allows him to take the uncontested mark. So Cruttenden.
Well, there's the first football that's hit a target in the last 4 deliveries.
Kicks back inside the corridor. Found Vansittart. Now Blackburn can go off the wing. Now Mandikos sits under it. Gets run down in the tackle. Great tackling work by Scoresby. This tackling in this game so far has been absolutely fantastic, as Benny Wilson's going to take the free kick across half-back for Scoresby.
McDonald it was.
Thanks, Brad.
That's all right.
So McDonald.
Gee, they had it open though, didn't they, Blackburn there? They were all on their way, and that was a very poor turnover.
And moves the football forward now, Scoresby, as they go towards half-forward. Hands that time, inside forward, 50, back of the pack. Coming off well that time, looked to be Hogel. Traps at the crucial moment, tries to get it back in towards McConnell, puts a little dribbler on the ground, sneaks through the Coca-Cola goal of the day to this point in time, puts Scoresby in front for the first time today. Kirby McConnell gets his first, and the Magpies go to 3-4-22, Blackburn to 3-1-19, 9 minutes gone, second quarter, Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
Yeah, it looks to me as if Scoresby have made a definite change in the way they're playing. They're getting it on a lot quicker, a lot longer, moving the ball into as much space as they can, and they're looking to try and run Blackburn off their legs at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 5. They've had all the play, Scoresby.
3-point lead for Scoresby as they hit the front. Farrelly attacks the contest. Fraser got hands to it as well. Both of them coughed it up though. Great pressure being applied again here by the Magpies. Petrarca almost seemed to throw it out. The umpire said that was okay. Vansittart gets around a couple of would-be tacklers, fires at the goals, but he's well and truly off target. And the ball trickles over the boundary line in the forward pocket for the Burners, Will Taylor.
Yes, Scoresby dominant in the stats so far. Inside forward 50, 6-1. Free kick count 6-2, and the clearance is 6-1 in favour of Scoresby.
Yeah, they are dominating this quarter, but not on the scoreboard, certainly in general play. So free kick goes to Hicks for the Magpies. Deep in defence, Jared Hicks just elects to go in short. Out of defence, the Magpies through Goldsworthy. And his short pass as well. Back inboard to Goldsworthy. I'll switch to this broadcast side. It's got Goldsworthy, nice pass. Gave Dunn every chance, but he had plenty of opposition. He's got a free kick. And apparently they're maybe not having eyes on the footy. So the umpire felt was the case. Short pass by Dunn, very dangerous there, looking for Tompkins. Put him under a lot of pressure. They crash in now and the umpire will ball it up once again. Again, Brett, Scoresby trying to clear the ball. Like you said, well you said before, they just rushed the option a bit and the execution was poor as well.
Yeah, just haven't been as clean as they normally have, but their tackling and intensity has increased this quarter.
There's a high tackle, free kick against Petrarca, and the Magpies through Jones come out to Parker. Big fly, had a lot of it. Ball spills clear, Denedick, bit of time to steady. Measures the pass, was intended there from McCubbin. Robbie Petrarca now shovels out a handball to Julian Petrarca. He fires the kick across the face of goal, and it was a great kick there by Jay Petrarca, and he's got it to Carafa.
And again, it wasn't one of those trailing kicks, wasn't it? It was put into a space where they knew that the player was coming off the line, running with towards the flight of the goal and taking a kick. So something that Scoresby have got to be aware of. It's just kick into that space all the time.
Carafa very happy with the kick. He likes it, and he has kicked the goal. He'll come off for a rest. Well-earned breather there for Ryan Carafa as Blackburn kick their fourth, and they lead now by 3 points on Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard.
And that's a great goal from him because he was one of the ones who got very badly crunched here before, and he's come on and kicked a real team-lifting goal, and a goal that they really needed to steady themselves. As you said, Scoresby had a lot of the footy, and for them, the last 3 minutes has been all Blackburn. So, again, see how Scoresby can respond.
Pretty good game of footy here in the Division 1 qualifying final. Simbolan got the tap down for Blackburn. Host of black and red jumpers around the footy, but Scoresby just holding it up. We're going to have another ball up. You're right about that kick by Petrarca. It very much looked like something that the Blackburn boys would have practiced, I reckon, every Thursday night throughout the season so far.
Oh, without a doubt. It's definitely a set play.
Van Reenen thumps the ball forward for Scoresby. Blackburn take it off hands though. Tui, he's been sensational so far. Pick up towards half forward. Denedick's going to have to go and try and go with one hand. Couldn't get it. Now the long hair in Farrelly. Just overrun at the crucial moment. Good tackling work though. Mandikos comes out with it. Gives a little handball to Fraser. Runs into trouble. Good work by Scoresby. Mandikos though just looked like a little ferret the way he went in and got that footy out that time. Kicks in towards the hot spot. Fraser's back there. Can go up. Good work by Scoresby though. Got the numbers at the back of the pack. Jared Major just thumps it out. It's going to come back though as Wilson's on the end of it. 65 out. Can put it in a more precise fashion. But all he does is pick out Tom Warby, who takes the uncontested mark for Scoresby. So Warby, the Ben Waterworth lookalike. Switches play, 2-on-1 contest. The one did fantastically well though, as Marcius took the mark between two Blackburn players. Moves the ball forward, Pim's on an extremely long lead, marks on centre wing. Now has to turn because his next kick's on, it's McDonald. Benny McDonald, the Scoresby players have got back well. Initially when McDonald took that football, there was only one player forward of him. He was right deep in the goal square. Parker's ran well. And he takes the mark. In fact, that's not Parker, that's David Marcius.
That's been great running from Marcius. He started the linking play.
Long kick into the forward line, off hands at the forward of the ball. Jones can slip one towards goal. That is the Coca-Cola goal of the day by Brad Jones. Beautiful work at the fall of the ball. Results in Scoresby's fourth goal of the day. They go to 4-4-28. Blackburn to 4-1-25. 14 and a half minutes gone, second quarter. Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard, Brett Davidson.
Oh, that was just great play from Marcius. It was a beautiful contested mark out here on the half-back flank. Spotted up Pim as the target, pushed on again and became the second effort, and then that was just a great snap goal. But it was, while it was a snap, it looked like it was a controlled snap. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, great game of footy here at Bayswater Oval. 3-point lead. It is goal for goal. Scoresby hit the front once again. 15 minutes into this second quarter. Leg under pressure, tried to shovel it out to Dunn. Strong tackles being applied. Blackburn have given away a free kick there, and it will go to Jones. So Brad Jones goes short. Dangerous kick, really. It was to a contest, only went about 30 metres. Worsterling over the footy, attacked it well. That was good footy from the Burners. Through the middle, Wilson, long kick to pull forward, and a great hit to Farrelly, who races in. What's he done? He's hit the post.
No, he missed it completely.
So he's missed it. Well, he got a great pass there. Jeff Ryan, in fact, it was, who kicked it to Farrelly, and then Farrelly raced in, and that's a big let off for Scoresby.
If that was Peter Monk or Stephen Pepping, they'd be off the ground by now.
Yes, there'd be a few words said at this stage, but
there would have been some loud noises coming from that huge coach's box at Churnside Park as well.
Would have been, and young leg has been hurt in that big crunch in the middle of the ground. He's coming off the ground for Scoresby.
Here's a chance for Blackburn. Fraser slips over the top to Petrarca. This is Robbie. He's dancing, ducking and weaving. Then puts it in the hot spot. Beautiful disciplined kick by Robbie Petrarca. Finds Fraser getting back into space, and he takes the mark 15 metres out directly in front. And for a man that's kicked over 60 goals this year, Brett Davidson, this should be bread and butter.
Definitely. And look, and I like the way that Blackburn, they're working behind the zone. You notice all the kicks have been behind that zone that Scoresby is setting up, and they're doing it beautifully.
They are indeed. I think he's got it through. Ben Fraser's made the goal umpire work a long way to his left, but in the end, he gets the desired result with two fingers going up. Fraser's second goal of the day. Blackburn 5-2-32. Leading Scoresby 4-4-28. 17 minutes, second quarter. Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard. Brett Davidson.
Again, it was all of that came about because Scoresby had the ball, had control of the football at centre half back, and it was a loose pass to a one-on-one contest where the ball was turned over, went back inside, came out into the forward pocket, and a beautiful centering kick by Petraka, and another goal. So now Scoresby just got to watch their disposal at the moment.
Well, it continues to be goal for goal as Wilson got it to Prendergast and he's tripped. And Jared Major there, that's just, it was Tompkins, sorry. He's tripped Prendergast and then he's given a little one in the breadbasket to
Steph Denedick.
Steph Denedick it was.
25 metre.
And so we have got a 25 metre penalty. So Prendergast wasn't...
Well, you've got to argue that if the umpire sees him give a little one that puts the bloke down and gives the 25, why is he not reported
him? Exactly.
I mean, it's a free kick for what then?
Yeah. Well,
what's the 25 metre for if he hasn't reported him?
Yep.
Prendergast walks in, lines up the goals and splits the middle. So Blackburn get two in a row, and that's been something which both sides have really struggled to do in this game. But the Burners have managed to achieve that and opened up a 10-point lead, 6-2-38 to Scoresby 4-4-28 just before time on in the second quarter here at Bayswater.
And again, it's just been that intensity at the football. Looks like there's been a little bit of to do off the ball again between those two players. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. See if Scoresby fire up from it, or Blackburn just use the impetus at the moment that they've got.
Scoresby kicked the first two goals of the quarter, but Blackburn have kicked three of the next four to jump out to a 10-point lead. And they're going to get the free kick out of the centre square as well. It's a bit more composed at the moment. It's going to be McCubbin to take the free. It's McCubbin drives it long inside forward 50. Benedict just lead himself underneath the footy that time. Good roving though by the Burners. Kicks a shocker though, goes out of bounds on the full. Free kick in the last line for Scoresby. 19 and a half minutes almost in this second quarter on the Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard. Roval leading Lilydale by 18 points at quarter time in Division 2. But Baronia by 2 goals against North Ringwood in Division 3 at quarter time, and Heathmont by 6 points against South Belgrave in Division 4 at quarter time. So now off hands, chance for Baronia to go inside once again. Flying shot, just offline. And through for one behind, it was Michael Mandikos. Really liked his game so far too, Brett Davidson. Blackburn 6-3, Scoresby a 4-4, 11-point lead to the Burners. Time on, second quarter, Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard.
And again, that was just from a loose pass from Scoresby in the back half. Again, the strength of their game is their foot skills, and it's really letting them down at the moment.
Warby goes straight up the middle with the kick, and it was a good one. Hit Marcius on the chest. So Marcius at half-back swings it out towards the outer wing. Sweeping handball on to Jones. Brad Jones measures the kick. It was a good one. Inside forward 50 there by McConnon. No mark taken. Michael John in defence. Just sums up the situation well. Took his time, but the ball's going to have to come back here.
Just quickly update scores. Division 3, 22-minute mark, second quarter. North Ringwood have hit the front, 6-6-42. Corona is 6-4-40. In Division 4, Mick Aiken's got 4 out of Heathmont's 7 goals. They're 7-5. South Belgrave 5-4.
Milhusen, short to Wilson. Not his best effort with the kick though, and it's been marked there by Van Reenen. So big Luke Van Reenen, true wing position. Loads up, boots it very high. Doesn't really favour his forward. Strong tackle there on McConnon by Petraka.
In the end, though, the kick worked well because Van Reenen went for height rather than distance. 4 Blackburn players went up for the footy then. There was no real talk. It came down, and Scoresby Winkers in a 50-50 contest.
Fisted forward by Van Reenen. Lachlan hunts it down, takes possession now. Bends the kick back.
You're kidding.
And that is...
You have to be kidding.
The goal of the day. Justin Lachlan, what a goal from the boundary. And he was so cool and calm as he just slotted it through like he does it every day of the week. And that puts Scoresby back to within 5 points. 5 goals, 4-34, trailing Blackburn 6-3-39.
Well, they've done a lot of that today, haven't they? They've kicked those goals out of nothing. They've created lots out of nothing. And I would think, what have they kicked? They've kicked 5 goals. I would have thought 4 of them have been through snaps. I think they've only had the one that they've kicked through.
Looking at it, Lachlan, yes. Jones, yes. McConnon, yes, in this quarter. Wade McConnon's in the first quarter and off the ground, only Crawsick from a set shot. Blackburn now inside forward 50 Wilbur. That's a centre clearance for the Burners. He's nodding his head. Footy goes over the boundary line though. Good work by the Scoresby back line to carry it over for a boundary throw in about 40 metres around from the Burners goal. 22 and a half minutes gone. Scoresby have clawed back to a 5-point deficit. As we said, North Brisbane have hit the front in Division 3. Ben Reenan got the tap down for Scoresby. Farrelly went through, tried to accentuate contact. In the end, it's worked because the umpire said that someone just held him by his little piggy tail. And we're going to have a free kick to the Burners, 40 metres out. On the slightest of angles, Tom Farrelly missed from point-blank range before. How's he going to do from a bit further out?
Well, look, this is his chance to make up, isn't it? It's not a hard shot for a right foot. It's a key spot. If you're going to play small forward, this is what you've got to do. Got to kick these.
So Tom Farrelly. Right foot kick on his way. That's a bit better. That's a lot better. That's gone straight through the middle of the perpendiculars. Through for Farrelly's first of the day. 7-3-45 Blackburn go to 5-4-34 Scoresby. Timely goal for the Burners. 23 minutes. Second quarter. Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard.
I like the way Blackburn are replying each time that Scoresby are putting the pressure on them and kicking that goal, that inspirational goal, that snap that lifts them. Blackburn have come straight back again and kicked another steadying goal, and all their goals have been those steadying type of goals. So they've been pretty impressive at the moment, Blackburn.
11-point lead to Blackburn, 23 and a half minutes into the second quarter as the umpire tosses it up. Ben Reenan got hands to it first. Quick kick out of the middle by Marcius, and the mark held there by Wade McConnell. Wants to dish it off, does so now. Marcius has a bit of time to sum up his kick and try to hit Pim. Hogle off the pack. Wilson picked his opponent's pocket, Milhusen, and races into the easiest of goals. That's the one from the Scoresby today that has come about far more easily than any of the others, and it brings the margin back again to 5 points. 6-4-40 to Magpies. Blackburn is 7-3-45 on the Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard.
Well, I was just about to say that the Blackburn defence have played pretty well on the key forwards for Scoresby, have kept them tight, and then all of a sudden that was a pretty weak effort actually. That got pushed off the ball way too. Should have taken the mark, then got pushed off the ball way too easily.
In the end, we've got a 9-goal quarter coming out here. Scoresby kicked 5, Blackburn kicked 4, and it's a 5-point lead to the Burners, who led by 10 at quarter time. Umpire calls for the footy for the secondary ball up. Grandstand side here, or commentary side, we shouldn't say grandstand, at Bayswater, although we're a lot higher than everybody else in the ground. Hicks got the tap out. Around the corner kick that time for Blackburn by Paul Bunn. Kicks up towards half forward. Mark not taken. Scoresby get numbers around the footy leg. Can give back to Warby. Nice handball that time. Finds McDonald. Now he can find the running man. Just put the handball at his feet. Wasn't good. Has to fight off the tackle now. Good defensive play by Blackburn. Denedick really put on the pressure that time. Footy squeezes out to the back of the pack. Rainey can pick up for Blackburn. Kick inside forward 50. The long hair's there. Farrelly just slips the tackler, and Tompkins can run towards goal. Has a shot. It's offline though. I think he's missed a lot, has he?
Yep.
He has indeed. Tommy Farrelly out of bounds on the full. It looked awesome until the football went on the boot, Brett Davidson, and then he undid all of his good work.
And especially as Ryan Toohey was standing by himself 30 out, which was exactly the spot that they like to generally put the ball. So I don't think that would be in the structures that Steve Cochrane would be very happy about.
Half-time in Division 4, Heathmont 8-5-53, South Belgrave 5-5-35, Mick Aiken 4, Darren Sheen 3 for Heathmont.
So the ball at half forward now for Blackburn. They've definitely let Scoresby off the hook on a couple of occasions in this quarter. They've still managed to slam on 4 goals for the term, and 4 goals 2 for this quarter to Scoresby's 5 goals 1. So it's been a great quarter of football. The lead has changed many times.
And I would imagine that there's probably been 3 or 4 out of bounds on the full included in that Blackburn score as well.
Yep.
This quarter.
So Hicks and Simbolan contesting in the ruck. The big man for Blackburn takes possession, got it out to Toohey. He was under the pump. Ball close to the deck, strong tackles being applied, and the umpire right on the scene to ball it up once again.
It's a timely week for Will Taylor to write an article about accuracy in the Eastern Footballer, because at halftime in Division 2 it's all about accuracy. Lilydale's had 10 scoring shots, Roval's had 7, and it's Roval 6-1-37 leading Lilydale 3-7-25 at halftime.
Ball shot out there to leg, high kick. Into open space now, Krawczyk goes short, lovely pass, hits Pim on the chest. And Stephen Pim has kicked 3 behinds today, so he hasn't kicked a goal, and just 3 behinds. Been it wasteful. He's certainly created plenty of opportunities for himself. He's led well, he's attacked the footy well, but he just hasn't finished off well.
These are usually the ones he loves, so.
Where's Luke Van Reenen off the ground at the moment? I don't get that.
Let's hope we get the big celebration from Steve Pim if he kicks the goal. Loads up, but again he's off target. 4 behinds now for Steve Pim, and Luke Van Reen. He's not going to be off for long, Sean. He's coming straight back on.
Still reckon he's the kind of player that if you want to give him a rest him in the goal square. Don't rest him on the bench.
Yeah, especially when Blackburn aren't, imbued with a lot of talls. It just seems to be a chance to create a great mismatch.
When Stan McCauley and Troy Takinen aren't in the Blackburn side, it's almost, and as we speak, there's nobody inside forward 50 for Scoresby at the moment as they put the press on from the back. Blackburn kick in. It's not going to work though, because there is the halftime siren in what's been a very, very impressive game of Division 1 football. In the qualifying final at halftime, it's Blackburn 7-3-45, leading Scoresby 6-5-41. Ben Fraser's our only multiple goal kicker on the ground so far today. He has 2 for Blackburn. Singles to Prendergast, Denedick, Farrelly, Carafa and Worsterling. For Scoresby, as we mentioned, it's all singles. Jones, Krawczyk, McConnon of the Kirby variety, McConnon of the Wade variety. Winner out of it at this stage.
No, definitely, Sean. I think it's been a really top quality game of footy. The pressure's been intense. Probably the only disappointing thing has been probably the use of the football. I don't think it's been as good as what it could have been, especially from Scoresby. But they certainly took their opportunities when they got it forward. They kicked some of those great snap goals. But I was impressed with the way Blackburn were able to just bring the ball up into their forward line. They know where to put the ball. They put it there often enough, and they were able to kick back each time that Scoresby got a goal. So look, it was a great quarter of footy, a great half of footy, and at this stage, it is a toss of the coin. I don't think you can see any team coming out and just blasting their way clear. Again, it depends on what happens with the chessboard. What do you do to create a different matchup which creates something that's a bit puts the other team off? At the moment, they're both very evenly matched. Do you put, as we said, a Van Reenen forward to see if there's a mismatch there? Do you open the forward line up at Blackburn and put a one-on-one situation? Again, they're the things that the coaches have got to weigh up. And at this stage, a very good half of footy, great game, and looking forward to the second half.
A very even score on the scoreboard at the moment, 4 points in it at halftime. Will Taylor, does the stat sheet reflect the same?
Very similar, set for just one stat which I'll read out right now. It's the hit out. Scoresby 36 in this game to 18 to Blackburn, 19 to 6 in that term. But everything else is pretty even. 5-3 in the marks inside forward 50 to Blackburn, 3-2 in that term. The possession count, 131 Scoresby, 125 Blackburn, 66 to 54 to Scoresby in that term. The clearances, 22-17 in favour of Scoresby, 10-7 in that term. The free kick count, 17-12 in favour of Scoresby, which included 10-7 in that term. And at one stage, Scoresby had 10 free kicks to 2, about halfway through that second term. And the free kick, and the marks inside forward 50, 20-19 in favour of Blackburn, 11-10 in that term. And at one stage, Scoresby was 6-2 in front in the marks inside, inside forward 50.
Our tech man Jake the Snake just giving me the signal. I thought he was going to play golf for a minute, but instead he's just headed off the balcony to do something else. He was holding like he was holding a putter, but now I understand what he was trying to be holding, and then he's just gone off to take care of some business at half time in this Division 1 qualifying final. We can tell you at half time in Division Division 2, it's 12-point lead to Roval in the second semi-final. And in Division 4, it's an 18-point lead to Heathmont. North Ringwood with 2 points ahead late in the second quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how that one turns out. We'll get to that because we're going to Ben Warren Smith at half-time. We're also going to Jeff Manolitza at half-time in the Lilydale and Roval game. Once we've heard from those two gentlemen, we're going to come back here and we're going to go through all of the third quarter action in what so far has been a fantastic Division 1 qualifying final between Blackburn and Scoresby right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Well, I did say at the end of last week's radio.
So what you trying to tell me is scored?
No.
A bit of work to do.
Then when they actually won the game, I said, North River was fine.
How'd you find the first half, Cameron?
Fine.
A couple were noodle scratches, but you get them.
Demonstration of Wirecast.
Seem to be quick on the trigger. Yeah. There was one or two, but I just thought they blew it a little bit early.
Demonstration of Wirecast. Demonstration of Wirecast.
What do you walk with, camera away?
Hey, you know I went to 4 shops to try and get some lights for my shoes and I couldn't get any? I had to paint them pink. Pink shoes tomorrow.
Pink shorts.
You're a publicity hall, Will.
Breast cancer.
You're a publicity hall.
Yellow. It's daffodil weekend. Not a good product. Roma is good.
Yes, Mark.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast. Demonstration of Wirecast.
Thank you very much, Barry Cotts. Welcome back to Bayswater Oval. Both teams just running out onto the field for the second half now, Steve Pym. Just the last one out for Scoresby. Blackburn already out as well. As we mentioned, 4-point lead to Blackburn, 7-3-45, leading Scoresby 6-5-41. In Division 4 at half-time, it is Heathmont 8-5-53, leading South Belgrave 5-5-35. We're going to hear from Ben Waterworth, of course, AFL Media superstar, who was at that game for us this afternoon for 98.1 Radio East. We'll hear from him after the game. He's told us that of the Heathmont's 8 goals already, 7 of them have come either from Mick Aitken or Darren Sheen in their forward line, and Lucas Appleby has 3 of South Belgrave's 5 goals. In Division 3, Baronia 9-5-59, leading North Ringwood 7-7-49, as we just heard from Ben Warren Smith. In both quarters so far, it's been close, 20-minute mark of the quarter, with Baronia getting a couple of key goals late in the quarter in both games. I can tell you that will make North Ringwood extremely nervous if that trend keeps continuing. In Division 2 at half-time, as we just heard from Jeff Manalitza, Roval 6-1-37, leading Lilydale 3-7-25. Really inaccurate kicking by Lilydale and really accurate kicking on the other hand by Roval. And of course in our game, 7-3-45 Blackburn, 6-5-41 Scoresby. General consensus, Brett Davidson, at half-time is that the scoreboard a little bit flattering for Scoresby.
Yeah, just a little bit. We were just saying before that we thought that the goals that Scoresby have kicked have been all opportunistic goals. They haven't been through, the normal play where they'll hit a leading hit-up target. So I suppose they have been a bit lucky that way, but the fact is that they've taken the opportunities that have been given to them, and really it was Blackburn's defence in the first 10 minutes of that second quarter that I think has really held them in good stead, because Scoresby had the ball in the forward line probably the whole of that 10 minutes and weren't able to really capitalise in the way that they'd want to. This quarter, it would just be interesting to see how they play it out, whether they continue to try and run the ball as much as they have, Scoresby, or they allow Blackburn to just continue to get that contested football, hit it into the target areas that they've been so disciplined at hitting in this first half. It's going to be a great half of footy, and it starts off with this third quarter.
According to you, in today's Eastern Footballer World, Taylor, we're watching a game between the two most accurate sides in shooting a goal in Division 1. Division 2, though, who's the most accurate team? Because it seems to be letting them down at the moment.
Exactly right. Lilydale is the most accurate team in Division 2, and Roe are sitting third just behind Bayswater. But as you read out the half-time score, Lilydale's accuracy is hurting them in this game.
Certainly is, as we're just about set for a start in the third quarter here at Bayswater Oval. All sorts of stuff coming over at the moment. Sounds like there's some sort of interesting PA stuff happening there, Jakey. Just listening to a little bit of it, sound like some sort of movie track or something like that. So I'll keep talking because Will's laughing at everything and Davo's eating a hot dog, so I'll just keep going on. Good to see the young Davidson here as well. Hasn't let go of his footy all afternoon. John Higgins is here, of course, for Sports Vision as well. And just remember, if you're at home doing nothing, just slip onto the EFL's YouTube channel and see if you can't find a little surprise going there, a live broadcast of this game so far. Scoresby tried to get the first clearance, but leg got bumped off the kick. Had the support at half-back. Now Scoresby can run forward. Kick wasn't flashed, though. Buns there. Good work diving on hands and knees by Krawczyk. Interesting kick though, Simbolan. Camp did half back, the big ruckman. Handball back now, Cruttenden. Got pressured, and the footballs end up over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in. So about 55 out from the Scoresby goal. They'd love to get the first major on the board in this one. Just our advanced break and clutch boundary riders have got some grass under the feet. Lauren's got some dirt on the Jimmy Choos. It's good to see. Football's tapped inside forward 50. Krawczyk came out for Scoresby, got claimed pretty well straight away though. Good work by Marcius. Now Blackburn come out with the footy. Brad's just been caught at Chino or Moore. Now we're up on centre wing. Good tackling that time by Tompkins for Scoresby. Forces the stoppage. We'll have a ball up on centre wing. So a minute into the quarter. No change to the quarter time score yet. Still Blackburn by 4 points. Van Reenen Just released the ball from the ruck. Can't quite say tapped it out because it just kind of squirted. Forward, nice mark taken by Mandikos, who's been fantastic for Blackburn. He gives to Carafa. He can run to 50, can deliver forward. Ryan Carafa touched right on the line though. Good defensive play by Scoresby. In the last line, Adam Parker's got a fist on it and shunted it through, 4-1 behind. 7-4-46 Blackburn move to. Scoresby a 6-5-41. Almost 2 minutes gone in this third quarter on the Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard.
He's dangerous when he goes forward, Carafa, isn't he? He's got that raking left foot, and he's certainly he's running extremely well when he gets there.
So brought back in by Warby to half-back, big fist from Simbolan. Neat kick up towards the wing position. Hicks takes the mark, doesn't waste any time. Looks for Pym, and Pym on the long lead takes the mark.
Lilydale kicked the first goal of the third quarter inside the opening minute in Division 2. Peter Baird's getting nervous, margin back to 5 points in the favour of Oval.
I don't know what happened then with the kick out, but Blackburn got sorely held out in their zone because how they could allow Scoresby to have 2 free players 30 metres off the contest, I don't understand. So Pym's got to kick this. He's kicked 4 points.
He does. He hangs it out to the right, comes back a bit, but 5 behinds now for Steve Pym. No goals for him today. And Scoresby, they've kicked 6-6. They don't have any multiple goal kickers. Blackburn are on 7-4-46. Ben Fraser's kicked 2, and it's a 4-point lead to Blackburn. 3 minutes into the third quarter here at Bayswater Oval.
Always works well. The reverse moz happening here. You always talk a bloke up and they end up letting you down. It's the other way around in Division 2 at the moment. Lilydale have just kicked their second goal of the third quarter and hit the front at East Burwood Reserve. So Blackburn move the ball beautifully up to centre wing. Now they go with the handball. Trying to find the footy now. In fact, they don't. They went with the fake handball. It's held up. Now they go towards half forward. Fraser's in the front spot. Got the tap down. Here's a chance. Petraka can run into an open goal. Running Petraka and put through his first for the day. Great running goal by Blackburn. That's what they've been good at so far. They get the first for this quarter. They're 8-4-52. Scoresby a 6-6-42. If I were Daniel Harford sitting to our left, I'd start to take some notes on Scoresby because Blackburn are all over them at the moment.
Yes, well, there was another great opportunity where Scoresby didn't take their chance of that. That set shot should have taken the chance. Blackburn have brought it down, and their running into forward 50 has been really impressive today, and another very impressive goal then.
Back in the middle, 10-point lead.
How's Chinos and more?
Very nice. Very nice.
How much?
Well, how much did it cost?
Yeah, did you have to take out a second mortgage?
$4 isn't bad. $4 for a large one, so that's more than reasonable.
No, we're not worrying about footy, Will. We're worrying about coffee at the moment. Never start getting serious.
So Steve Pym has to kick this goal.
You know where the van is.
He has kicked 5 behind so far, and he'll be kicking from straight in front this time, so player of his ability and his reputation, you'd expect him to kick the goal, but the sort of day he's having, there goes the big celebration, the fist pump. And he's finally kicked one. It's more relief, I think, than jubilation there for Steve Pym. Blackburn now lead by just 4 points. 8 goals 4 to Scoresby, 7 goals 6, 5 minutes into the third quarter on the Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard.
And to say they really needed that's probably a bit of an understatement, but again, it wasn't anything clean. It was just a contest where he got a free kick. I thought it could have gone either way. He did play for it a bit, but fact is he's now got himself on the scoreboard in the positive fashion. So we'll see if the team can kick 2 in a row.
So Simbolan gets the tap down for Blackburn. Good pressuring that time. Last time consecutive goals were kicked, 18-minute mark of the second quarter. Fraser and Prendergast putting through 2 in a minute for Blackburn.
And Blackburn have been good at coming back after a Scoresby goal, so let's see what happens here.
Here's their chances. Petraka got the handball out to Tui. Tui can bump it long inside forward 50. Fraser's his target. He's one out, couldn't mark. At ground level, Scoresby do well. Kick the ball out of the danger zone, but I believe they've kicked it out of bounds on the full. Free kick going the way of Jared Worsterling. Is it for Blackburn? No, he's just advancing it forward. Free kicks going in the way of, as I try and look around, Jakey's effects, Mike. Looks like Michael Rainey that might be taking it.
Gee, he must have kicked that out of bounds on the full from basically nearly as soon as
I
he
was
picked
going to
it
say,
up.
the man on the mark is now only standing 30 metres out from goal. This is well within Rainey's distance. Puffs the chest out, prepares his approach now, just goes around a little bit to improve the angle, snaps on the right foot, no good. Through for one behind. That would make Blackburn 8 goals, 5.53, 7.6.48. Scoresby, good to see the drinks waiter. Dale Rose just come upstairs onto the Blackburn, onto the Bayswater balcony. Just cokes all around, thanks Rowie. 7-minute mark, third quarter, Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
So it will be Warby to have the kicking in duties once again. Goes straight down the middle to a huge pack. Fraser with the big fist. Simbolan on hands and knees. Fed it out to Fraser, to Rainey. Rainey's kick falls short. It was intended there for Prendergast. Prendergast now was confronted by a couple of Magpies. Goes after the footy again, and now the umpire will ball it up.
That again was good forward pressure from Blackburn. They could have lost the ball out of the back there, and they held it up nicely in here.
So boundary throw in fact as Renan arms it down to Marcius. And have a ball up on this occasion.
The long hair's the last one up, Tommy Farrelly.
Yeah. Umpire throws it up. Goldsworthy and Farrelly. Farrelly shoveled it out to Prendergast, who was spun around a couple of times there in the tackle, but he never had a prior opportunity before he was tackled. So even though he was held a long time in the tackle, no chance to get rid of the ball. Umpire throws it up once more. Van Reenen just smacks it down straight to ground. Tompkin, handball. Loose ball now. It's well played there by Scoresby. They get it out towards the wing position. Now they're off and running. Corey Mack. It's got one of those names like Eddie Betts where you have to say the whole name.
Eddie Betts.
Or Farron Ray. You can't just say the surname. Kim. Does he keep it in? No, he doesn't. And we'll have another boundary throw in.
Oval have just gone bang, bang at East Burwood. It's back out to a 2-goal Hawk lead. Van Reenen off. I don't like that.
We know. We know you don't. So now Scoresby trying to defend Grandly. They do it well. Jones coughed it up. It's a loose ball. Hotly contested footy. McDonald tries to track it down into open space. Well, was really well played to McCubbin. Carafa. Neat pass by Carafa. Finds Fraser. Just put the big dukes out and stretched for it. Took the mark. Looks for Farrelly, who plays for a free kick. I reckon he made sure the umpire saw it, Sean, and the umpire wasn't going to fall for it.
Sure, I saw it too because I was all over it.
Tompkins. Short pass to Marcius. David Marcius. Goes very short.
Look at Kirby
Cross. Sean Cross's kick to half forward.
Connon snuck onto the ground inside the forward line and no Blackburn players seen him.
Worsterling to Michael John.
Doesn't matter
Neat
now.
pass to Farrelly. Inside 50. This is great team play from the Burners, but they've missed a chance there. Fraser wanted it.
Prendergast going absolutely ballistic, 35 out from goal. We'll go boundary side shortly for advanced breaking clutch.
Chris McCubbin, is it?
Sorry, we'll just pick up who the Blackburn player is as he has a shot. Can't even find
it's
it.
McCubbin.
Up and under.
Look at our drinks waiter.
Right to the line. Thank you. As no mark taken, it was right to the goal line. Leg. Gives off a handball.
Great job, Rowie.
Out of defence. And a nice pass. Diving mark taken. That was Lachlan. That was Lauren speaking. There was Lachlan who took the mark.
We didn't hear Lauren, thankfully. She wasn't on air. We'll get to her shortly on the boundary side.
Lachlan's kick to the wing position. Wilson missed the tackle. Kick forward there by Wade McConnon. And good grab held by Mill Hughes. And he was the man in front. He's outpointed Ben Wilson on that occasion.
Especially when Wilson went to the back of the pack in the contest as well. Silly move.
And needed to, Davo, because as we mentioned that second quarter, Mill Hughes got badly pushed out of a contest too easily by Wilson, which cost a goal.
Exactly.
So redeemed himself well there.
He's the man on the top of the square again that they run.
Very high kick. and mark safely taken defensively for the Magpies, Shawnee.
So they switch play. Find David Marcius. Commentary side wing. Kick forward towards McConnon, but Parker does well to chip in and take the mark. In fact, it's Mack. Tells the boys to come forward from centre half back. Neil Hewson flew first but couldn't hold on to the mark. Going through hard that time was Wilson, but Tui stood up to it. Now Robbie Petraka can burst through the middle. Up and under kick. At the back of the pack, Kennedy has taken an absolute screamer. What a mark that was. In fact, that was the long hair, Tommy Farrelly, that's come down with that. That is a beauty. He's now loaded up from 55 out, deep into the forward line. Over the boundary line, is it? No, it's a mark at the back of the pack by Scoresby. Adam Parker's just deflating everyone. Let's cross boundary side for advanced break and clutch services to the EFL media manager, Lauren Wood.
Yeah, thanks very much, Shawnee. And as you say, Blackburn are leading by 5 points, but I tell you what, the pressure's rising down here at ground level. They say the coach tends to dictate how everyone else is feeling, and I can certainly tell you that the blood pressure of Steve Cochran has gone through the roof in the last couple of minutes. If they can't consolidate soon, it'll be really interesting to see if Scoresby can take advantage of that.
And here's a chance that Scoresby can go inside forward 50 play. Just got taken off the kick at the crucial moment. Now Hogle, who's done nothing today, couldn't hold on to the footy. Over the football that time was Wade McConnon. Umpire calls for the stoppage. About 45 metres out, directly under the Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard. Beautiful work of Dale Rowe to just deliver some beautiful Coke products to the commentary box as well. Even one for our man Jake the Snake, Lauren. That's where yours went to Jakey. Tell Rowe next time he comes out not to forget our advanced break and clutch boundary riders. So Blackburn now bring the ball out onto centre wing. Nice trap that time by Michael Rainey. Slips a nice looking pass over the top, but it's ill-directed. It goes straight down the throat of Luke McDonald. Kick into the centre of the ground. Jake's just letting the boundary riders know that the Coke's nice and cold. As Lachlan goes inside forward 50. Pim's got 2 to beat, couldn't do so. First man up's the one that marked it, and that would be Chris Wilson, the former captain.
It's Ryan. Jeff Ryan.
Sorry, Jeff Ryan, the current captain. And you got the captain bit right somewhere. It was like the former or the current. So Brian Tui has the footy across half-back for Blackburn. Moves it forward, finds Fraser on the long lead. He takes the mark. So Fraser on the boundary line.
He's claiming the mark. I don't know if he'll get it.
No.
Oh, no,
he has
got it.
The old umpire just checked with the boundary ump. Good umpire consultation. Been a lot of that amongst the umpires' advisors today, mostly pissed off because we've taken their prime spot. They can build a bridge and get over it. The football goes over the boundary line, deep in the forward line for Scoresby, and over for a boundary throw-in. Hello, Nashi. Just gives me the nod. Says, yes, you're in my spot. I don't care. Ball thrown in. Chance for Scoresby. They've got numbers around the footy. Flicked the little one out. Dangerous, flicking it back into the corridor in the back line, but we get a lot of numbers around it. Now it just slips free. Umpires call play on. Good work. Now calls for it. We'll have another ball up.
It's right at a stalemate situation, isn't it? You expect the next goal.
15,
either way could really do something
15-minute mark, third quarter, Division 3. North Ringwood back in front, 4-point leaders. Ball close to the boundary line. A run over that time by Ben McDonald. Heathmont starting to turn up the heat. 10-9-69, South Belgrave 6-6-42. Darren Sheen's out to 5 goals. Ball thrown in. Sorry, Brad, we'll get to your point in a minute. I'll cut you off. I apologise for that.
No, that's okay.
Leg went with the foot. Neither was flash, and it goes over for a boundary throw-in. Sorry, Brad.
I was going to say, Davo, it's the last few minutes have resembled a lot of what we saw in the first quarter, whereas more of that congested footy on that, especially on that outer side, but that second term was very free-flowing. It's gone back into that tight, congested style of play, which favoured Blackburn, we thought, in the early stages.
Yeah, definitely, and I think at the moment it's just it's a real arm wrestle at the moment. Just to see who's going to break free is very interesting. Really hard to pick at the moment.
Our man Jake for the Loft Productions has just told off a bunch of 3-6-year-olds, made them cry and sent them back down the walkway here. You're a tough man, Jake. Some in some circles, Wilbur included, already calling for Darren to return, but I love you, Jake. Keep doing your good work. As we're going to have another ball up, centre wing. What's your outrageous statement for today, Wilbur? You've been very non-controversial today. I think you're just sitting on something for us. This ball's thrown up. That wasn't me for a change. And we're going to have another ball up. The game's close all around. Oval 2-goal lead in Division 2. 4 points at the moment. North Ringwood in Division 3. Heathmont just starting to slip away in Division 4 though as Scoresby go inside forward 50. Bouncing football. Hogle reins it in well. Can give the handball back. Now Scoresby have the flying shot. Pim's in the area. So is Wilson. But so are the behinds. And that's where the football heads. Through for a minor score. 7-7-49 Scoresby. 8-5-53 Blackburn. 16 and a half minutes gone. Third quarter. Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard. Brad Henderson.
Thank you, Sean, as Cruttenden goes very short to Worsterling. And the Blackburn team look to just build from defence. Everyone's pretty well manned up, though. There's nothing much to kick to for Worsterling. Big fist from behind by Ben McDonald. Attacking it was Wilson. And below the top from Worsterling to Julian Petrarca. Little give to Worsterling once again. He's been involved a lot. Mandikos takes possession inside 50, bounces the kick through for a minor score. And he's had one of those nearly days so far today, Sean. Michael Mandikos, he's done a few nice things, but it's never quite sort of finished off in exactly what he's been trying to achieve.
I've liked his inside work today, though, Michael Mandikos. He's been that link man almost all the way through, the one that's prepared to get in and underneath and feed the running players.
I tell you what, they worked the ball beautifully from along this wing then when they looked like they were out of position every single time, Blackburn.
Beautiful kick in for Scoresby and a nice mark taken by Luke McDonald. Time on third quarter, Lilydale back out to a 2-point lead. She's ebbing and flowing in Division 2 in the second semi-final for the right to play in the grand final. Parker has the ball for Scoresby. In front of his coach's box, Dale Bauer. Look at him leaning over on the scaffold there, just putting some work on it. There's Parker. Kicks towards half forward. Krausick got high, couldn't mark. At ground level, the ball goes over the boundary line in front of Jarrett Hicks. And we'll have a boundary throw in. So it's Peter Baird that's sending us through the information from the Division 2 final. He'd be a very nervous man at the moment. Good tap down by Van Reenen, who's getting monstered off the ball. He can give to Lachlan, can run into some space, fires a shot at goal, and Scoresby are in front.
Oh, there goes the goal umpire.
The goal umpire and Ian Cruttenden have had a bit of an altercation, unintended of course. The goal umpire's recovered, he's put two fingers up, and Scoresby are in front. 8-7-55 the Magpies, 8-6-54 Blackburn, 19 minutes third quarter. Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard, as Justin Lachlan kicks his second goal for the day, Davo.
Yeah, look, it's that's a crucial goal, and it's the next 3 minutes that'll really dictate what's going to happen on here, I think, because that's the one that needed to be kicked, and we'll see which team can then respond well after having kicked a goal.
Nearly into time on, 19 minutes gone in this third quarter. It's a 1-point lead to Scoresby. As it's again a very keenly contested footy, this one. Simbolan got the little handball out to Rainey, who's had a great third quarter. Michael Rainey's long kick to full forward. Denedick now was cast in the role of the rover that time. Lovely pass to Carafa, all on his own, doesn't waste any time, fires at the goals and puts it through. And again, great use of the footy by Blackburn. Once they're inside 50, they hit a target, and Ryan Carafa kicks his second goal for the day.
And again, what we've talked about, that's what they've been able to do each time, Blackburn. And the way they've kicked their goals, they should just try and set up like that all the time. They've always had that free player in the fat side running goal side and go towards the goal, hit them and bang, a very nice goal. Really well set up too.
Could the curse be over in Division 3? North Ringwood have kicked the first 5 goals of the third quarter and they lead it by 21 points in the preliminary final against Baronia. Ball back in the centre of the ground. Blackburn get it heading their way to start with. Tui comes off and meets the Scoresby player hard. Leaves the footy behind, which opens the gate for the Magpies. And they now have the ball on centre wing. It's 12-9-81 North Ringwood, 9-6-60 Baronia. Krausick for Scoresby. Inside forward 50, just the kick had too much on it for Hicks. And going back, taking the uncontested mark was Jeff Ryan. Flicks it over towards Chris Wilson. So Wilson on the social club side. Picks up the wing, almost a strong mark taken by Mack. Couldn't drag it in. And now Prendergast can go back and get it. Rainey should be gone. Rainey sold some candy that time, tried to get around. Tom Warby claimed him in a perfect tackle. Not quite sure why that wasn't holding the ball. Cameron Nash, I'm looking at you.
I don't know how it can be a baller. going to be a baller.
So the ball thrown up. Van Reenen kicks it, gets it to Crosser, kicks it straight into the gluteus maximus of Van Reenen. Michael John puts it under his arm and streams off half back towards centre half forward, but cutting off that time was the Scoresby defender in Ben McDonald, who marks uncontested. Flicks it out towards the the Bayswater Road wing.
McConnon, Kirby.
Certainly is. Kirby McConnon finds Wilson. So Wilson up on centre wing. Long kick inside forward 50. Back of the pack was Crawsey. Oh, dangerous because the mark wasn't taken by Ryan. Slipping in there and kicking the goal for the Scoresby. Beautiful work done by Chris Hogle. His first for the afternoon. Perfect Crummer's goal that time by Hogle to give Scoresby back the lead. They're 9-7-61. Blackburn a 9-6-60. 22-minute mark of the third quarter, Brett Davidson. Scoresby, they haven't been the best side in this quarter so far, but when they've had the ball in their advantage, they've worked it beautifully.
Yeah, they're certainly looking pretty dangerous, and that was just another great opportunistic goal. A fairly standard mark that was dropped. 3 Blackburn players going back, 2 protecting, 1 drops the ball, goes straight to Scoresby and a great snap. So, they're certainly taking their chances this quarter, Scoresby.
And that was Chris Hogle's 60th goal of the season as the long kicks booted forward and the mark held there for the Magpies just inside the field of play. So it's going their way now. I think this is Chris Hogle once again who's taken the mark.
We talk about ebbs and flows. South Belgrave kicked the last 3 goals in Division 4. It's back to a 9-point lead to Heathmont. Lucas Appleby has 5.
Wow.
Chris Hogle for goal number 2 in the space of a minute. He's been very quiet up to this stage. Now all of a sudden he's kicked 2 goals on the trot and he's pretty excited about it as well. So Scoresby open up a 7-point lead now. 10 goals, 767. Blackburn 9 goals, 660. 23 minutes gone on the Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard, and that is 61 goals now for the season for Chris Hogle.
And that was a goal straight from the influence of Van Reenen then in the middle. He's beautiful tap out, won the ball forward, and a very, very nice mark and kick for a goal then from Hogle. So, you can't keep those good quality forwards down, and when they take their opportunities, they've taken them, and he's had 2 in 5 minutes and taken both of them.
So the ball back in the centre of the ground, 7-point lead to Scoresby now. Burrell in to try and get the centre clearance, which they're going to do through McConnon. He can kick inside forward 50, finds a man on the lead. Beautifully weighted kick by Kirby McConnon, finds Wilson on the lead just as he was about to be brought down and tackled. Still had enough to just chip the kick beautifully fat side for Wilson, and he marks and can kick from 35 metres out, Brett Davidson.
Well, this is a big turnaround. This is a massive kick, this one. Massive kick in the scheme of things for this game.
3 goals in 2 minutes this could be for Scoresby as Wilson gets underneath one. Shows why he plays most of his football in the back line. Goes out of bounds on the full. Was a big kick and he didn't deliver.
That's terrible. I mean, I don't agree, but that was terrible for a First Division footballer of that quality to miss everything from 35 out.
Samuel Hewson goes in short. And this is was Wilson. Chris Wilson, he goes short as well. Adam Wilson now with the ball. High kick to the wing position and fisted over the boundary line. So Scoresby all of a sudden just in the last 5 minutes they've really hit their straps, and can Blackburn answer? All throughout today it's really been a case of goal for goal most of the time. Getting 2 or 3 goals in a row has been extremely hard for both sides. Robert Petrarca now launches it forward. Telling kick. Came off hands. Little handball to Carafa. He works his magic again. And he's kicked another goal. They're claiming it was touched off the boot. What is the decision? It was touched off the boot. So that was the way that the umpire saw it. He alerted the goal umpire, and only a minor score there for Ryan Carafa.
Our man Jake for the Loft Productions is saying the same thing, clapping his hands together as if to say it was touched. My batter is clapping the goal. I still don't quite know.
Certainly, if that had been a goal, it would have been a crucial miss down the other end for it to suddenly come back and kick that goal. But a point keeps them back in at Scoresby.
They do. Scoresby a goal ahead, 10-7-67. Blackburn a 9-7-61. Football clears half back for Scoresby, but Wilson's there for Blackburn. couldn't control the footy before it ran over the boundary line. We'll have another boundary throw in. So we're deep into the third quarter. No teams kicked more than 2 goals in a row in this game so far. Scoresby have done it twice in this quarter. Petraka off the back of the pack for Blackburn. Kick towards centre half forward. Denedick came out on the lead, couldn't mark. Then took Brad Jones when he didn't have the footy. He's going to get the free kick across half back. So Jones, he'll want to go laterally. He does. Goes towards the Bayswater side road. Finds his man on the half back flank. Scoresby move the ball forward up the line. Wade McConnon can move it forward quickly. Looks for Pim. Got one Duke on it. Couldn't bring it in. Blackburn have got 3 defenders back there. Doing nicely in the end to take the football was Adam Wilson. Flicked over the top. McConnon of the Wade variety. Cut it off though. Boundary line wasn't quite his friend, but David Marcius was. He kicked around the corner without looking though. And Chris Wilson takes the uncontested mark. Slip the football back across the ground. Finds Robbie Petraka at true centre half back. Keeps switching towards the commentary side wing. Finds his man, Mandikos. Been good so far. Slips up the line towards half forward. Strong mark taken by Michael Rainey.
That's a great mark, that, because it was always set up to be spoiled.
Rainey got back behind his mark quickly, put it in towards the long hair and Farrelly. Scoresby player right on his hammers, put the footy off his boot over the boundary line on the full. And that was Scott Goldsworth that did that. He's taken the long sleeves off, and it's going to be Farrelly to get the fortuitous free kick.
With not much time, I wouldn't have thought this is a chance for him to kick a goal and really go in with a lot of confidence. Shocking kick.
3/4 time scores pouring in from around the grounds. We'll get to them shortly as Scoresby trying to come off half back. They work themselves into a little trouble. Now they work out of it. This is McDonald of the Ben variety. Just waited for his teammate to run past before giving the handball. In the end, the kick that went forward wasn't flash. Kirby McConnon had to tackle from the back foot. Ball goes in. It's going to be a ball up. 3/4 time, Lilydale 8-11-59, lead Roval 8-3-51 in Division 2. And in the Division 4 first semi-final, Heathmont 11-9-75, leading South Belgrave 10-6-66. Lucas Appleby 6 goals for South Belgrave. Darren Sheen's got 5 for Heathmont and Mick Aiken's got 4.
You know, Brett, you mentioned before that great mark by Rainey down there. I reckon him and Carafa are pretty much, that's what's kept Blackburn in this game in the third quarter. Those two have been mighty, but they're not getting enough support from some of the other teammates.
Ball thrown in, sorry Dave.
I agree 100% with that one.
Good work by Mack just to feed the running player going forward with the handball. Now a chance as McConnon goes off the ground. Pim, can he clunk one? No, he can't. Pretty close to the boundary line, now over. Right in front of the Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard, which at the 29-minute mark of the quarter sees Scoresby 10-7-67, leading Blackburn 9-7-61. Scoresby led at both quarter time and half time. This could be the first break in play where they see their noses in front. Very much a final this game so far in every aspect of it. It's been close, it's been tight. We've had some heroic stuff and we've had some pretty simple mistakes as well. Ball's thrown in. Pim reached over the top, got the tap, then got the ball in the half volley, puts it goalward, offline. 3 for 1 behind, right on the 3/4 time siren. Scoresby will go in 7 points ahead at the final break. 10-8-68 Scoresby, 9-7-61 Blackburn. The goal umpires did wave the flags on that last behind. They did, so that one has gone through. What we can tell you is that we have 2 goals each to Hogle.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
For Blackburn, 2 goals each to Ryan Carafa and Ben Fraser. Singles to Prendergast, Denedick, Tommy Farrelly, Robbie Petraka and Jared Worsterling. Well, was not quite ready with the stats yet, Brett Davidson. This game is ebbing and flowing beautifully. As we just said, everything you'd expect from a final, but where to from here is the $64,000 question.
Yeah, it is a big question, and I suppose in that quarter, Scoresby, I think, probably ran the ball a little bit better than what they had in the first half, especially around the contest. They managed to get their hands on the contest and then flick it out to the runners, and then they kicked it long to the right spots in the forward line, and they were lucky enough to take all their opportunities. Blackburn, on the other hand, were good still in close, and when they moved the ball into the forward after a player that was loose running again towards the goal, they were great, but when they went into the contest area, Scoresby were able to get numbers back and run the ball out quite easily. Both sides switched the ball incredibly well, both in that quarter, so it'll be very, very interesting to see if Blackburn can come back.
Beautiful work by our audio man, Jakey the Snake from Loft Productions as well. We can hear the Scoresby huddle from where we are in our effects mic. But Wilbur, tell us how the quarter panned out on the stat sheet, please.
Yes, let's have a look at marks inside forward 50. Blackburn 3 apiece in that term, 8-6 in the game so far. The possession count 202 for Scoresby, 196 Blackburn. In that term, 75-71 in favour of Blackburn. In the clearances, 32-26 in the game in favour of Scoresby. In that term, 10-9. The hit-outs, 55-26 in favour of Scoresby, 19-8 in that term. The free kick count, 19-12 in favour of Scoresby, 2-0 in that term. And the inside forward 50s, 11-10 in favour of Scoresby in that term, and it's locked up at 30-all.
Good work by you, Will Taylor, in the stats chair today. I was just having a look at the AFL scores and seeing if it was worth our while announcing them over the airwaves. I don't think we will. We might leave that to Barry Cotts to bring the bad news. Speaking of bad news, they've called game over at Walker Park in Mitcham. North Ringwood 8-1 in the premiership quarter. Could this be the hoodoo breaker? They are 40 points ahead at three-quarter time. I'll get that three-quarter time score for you. It is 15-12, 102 North Ringwood, 10-6, 66 to Baronia. Saints look like they're headed into the grand final in Division 3. We don't know who's headed to the second semi-final to take on Noble Park in Division 2 just yet. Set things up for a fantastic final quarter. We're going to take a break and cross back to Barry Cotts in the Radio Eastern studios. And then we'll come back to answer that question. Who will take on Noble Park in the second semi-final? Answer coming up in half an hour's time right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Will, how's the old Roman going? How much? Roman down by 8 points. Roman down by 8. That's a running score.
North Ringwood are 40 points up. Kicked 8 goals to 1 in the third quarter.
Yeah, Heath won South Belgrave's both as well. Heath won 9 points. How about AFL scores, you know?
Administration of Wirecast.
How much?
The one that played the rest of the final. They got to play Collingwood next week. Yeah, what's why they had the rest? You would have beaten yours. Yeah, I know. All bagged it.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Thank you very much to you, Barry Cotts. Thanks also for bringing that AFL score to us. Good work. I told you not to do that. 7-point lead, 2 Scoresby at three-quarter time in the Division 1 qualifying final. We're going to cross boundary side straight away and hear from our advanced break and clutch boundary riders, Damien Taylor and Damien Watson, and Lauren Wood, as to what the coaches had to say at three-quarter time. I was thinking Will Taylor for some reason. Down to you for advanced break and clutch, Damo and Loz.
Thanks very much, Sean. Optimism is certainly throwing throughout the Scoresby camp at the three-quarter time huddle. Coach Dale Bauer praised his defenders for their efforts down back, but said that his side must prevent the plethora of opposition attacks inside 50. He claimed that his forwards, such as Wilson and Pym, must present as more intimidating, potent forwards in this last quarter, and he claimed that their midfielders should expose their opposition zone with long kick-ins. Lauren?
Yeah, thanks, Damo. Steve Cochran, as I mentioned earlier, he was really feeling the pressure and he tried to stay positive at that third quarter break, but you could really tell that intensity has risen, as has his blood pressure. But he condemned his players for their long bombs forward, so it'll be interesting to see how they can lift. They've done a lot of rotations in the first three quarters, so whether they can find some fresh legs here will be interesting.
Thanks to Damien Watson and Lauren Wood for advanced break and clutches. Parker brings the ball out for the first centre clearance for the quarter for Scoresby. Ogle double clutched one but couldn't drag it in, so Blackburn can try and rebound off half back. Couldn't do so though. Nice mark taken by Sean Cross. I just saw his brother Joel coming off the ground at three-quarter time as well. Pym tried to barrel his way through the pack, couldn't do so. Deep inside forward 50. Looks like they're going to have another boundary ball up. They'll kick the opening 2 goals of the final term. They're out to a 20-point lead. And may I draw your attention, ladies and gentlemen, to a text that was received at 4:33 p.m. last Sunday saying Baronia to beat North Ringwood and Saints are gone in straight sets. Good work, Will Taylor, you muppet. North Ringwood 36-point leaders at three-quarter time. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
There's Wilson. Puts a little dribbler towards goal for Scoresby, but it's off 4-1 behind. Scoresby get the first score of the quarter in the opening minute, 10-9-69. Blackburn 9-7-61. I didn't know we had Bundy promo girls here today. I should have paid more attention.
I saw that.
No, you didn't. Turn yourself on, Bradley.
Sorry, short pass there to Bunn. Paul Bunn.
Got distracted by the Bundy girls, I can understand it. Good afternoon, Suzanne.
Here's a lovely kick, Paul Bunn to Simbolan. Doesn't take the mark. Ball on the deck. Ryan coughed it up. Marcius. Short pass was a good one. Mark dropped there. Ball fed out to Krosick. Very high. Kick by Matty Krosick. In the square, Wilson. Pym races in and kicks the goal. Steve Pym has booted his second. And it was a good contest there offered by Wilson in the goal square. He couldn't take the mark, but he had Pym in support. And Stephen Pym raced in and opened up a 14-point lead now for Scoresby. Biggest lead of the day for the Magpies. 11-9-75 to Blackburn, 9 goals, 7-61. 2 minutes into the final quarter on the Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
Yeah, look, again, looking at the players, Marcius, every time he touches the footy, he does something really constructive. And again, that was a lovely take, nice little kick, and then Pym did exactly what the coach asked him to do at three-quarter time. He made an impact with his pace and size, and that was a crucial goal. And now it's all up to Blackburn to see how they can respond after probably Scoresby have kicked 3 or 4 of the last 5 goals. So very interesting to see what they can do here.
So great work by the Magpies, further increasing the chance. It's going to be Blackburn that we'll see next Sunday afternoon live on 98.1 Radio Eastern, either in a clash of red and black against Knox or one of the most fierce rivalries in EFL footy against Baldwin, as Scoresby go inside forward 50 once again. And they've taken yet another mark inside 50. Wilbur, how many is that so far for the game, please, for Scoresby?
3 to do in this term, and it is at 35-26 in favour of Scoresby.
So Kirby McConnon said during the week, I reckon he's a big finals game away from jumping into the elite small forwards in Division 1. He's just tipped that one over the top of the outstretched arms of the Blackburn defenders. Umpire puts 2 fingers up. McConnon's got his second for the afternoon. That's going to make things extremely difficult for Blackburn now. Scoresby out to a 20-point advantage, 12-9, 81 Scoresby, 9-7-61 Blackburn. Get ready, half, if you win tomorrow. It's Blackburn versus Baldwin next Sunday afternoon. You're going to love that.
Again, that was a great play from Marcius, just a lovely clearance from him, and he's a crucial footballer for them.
Inside forward 50 so far, 3-0 in favour of Scoresby.
Keep your eyes peeled as well, gentlemen. Narellan pulls player of the day, $100 prepaid Visa card going to the player who judged best on the field. We haven't got one this week though, so we're not getting one. Narellan, lift your game and give us something.
20-point lead to Scoresby.
Well, I got told before the game that we did have it going on to award it, so I've just been told not to, so we haven't got it.
Okay. Robbie Petrarca out of the middle, thumping kick to the top of the square, no mark held, lots of holding going on. Great tackle by McCubbin, slings his opponent into the deck. That was an aggressive tackle and it results in a ball up. Umpire throws it up, McCubbin now contesting the ruck, hit out. Fraser got involved as well. Rainey right there on the scene. 20-point lead to Scoresby.
Bye-bye, South Belgrave. Darren Sheen, first 3 goals of the final quarter. He's now got 8 for Heathmont. They are marching through to a preliminary final.
High tosses up. It was McCubbin against Van Reenen. Handball was shot out. Favours the Burners. Quick kick. Out of the pack was by Carafa. And what's he done? Did he sneak it through for a score?
No, he's missed a lot.
He's missed a lot. No, I'm going to have a boundary throw-in by the looks of it.
Yes, touch.
So, forward pocket, boundary throw-in, favouring Blackburn. McCubbin against Van Reenen. The boundary throw-in fell a fair way short. Parker tries to get a clearing kick, but didn't really clear the area. It went to McDonald, onto Major. Major's kick was intended for Causey, but Paul Bunn had front position. He's a beautiful user of the ball. Paul Bunn usually hits a target. More accustomed to bringing the ball out of defence rather than trying to set up a goal. Bunn's kick favours Ryan, and the veteran Jeff Ryan takes the mark. And he'll go back. He's not a veteran, he's 23, but he's the captain. He's a leader of this team. And
he just looks like a foss.
Oh, I just thought being the captain he would be a lot older than he is. He's only 23 years old.
Captains don't always have to be old.
No, that's true.
Matty McNeil looked about 13 when he held a premiership cup up the other year for Churnside Park.
Looks about 43 at the moment.
Lovely kick by Jeff Ryan. Blackburn, gee, they needed that goal, and the captain's goal has been provided by Jeff Ryan as he comes off the field. It'll take a few minutes, well-earned break, but Blackburn now trail by 14 points. Scoresby 12-9. Blackburn 10 goals, 7 coming up to the 7-minute mark of the final quarter.
Yeah, that was a good goal, but now it's the crucial one. Can they get this clearance, get it down and kick the second one to build momentum, or else...
it's probably almost the game-breaking goal, this next one.
Exactly.
Blackburn kick it, they're well and truly back in this, they miss it and they are just about gone. And the fat lady that Ben Waterworth just queued up at Heathmont could be at Heathmont, for Heathmont at Ringwood, could be making her way down to Bayswater as the Magpies got the centre clearance, moved it towards half forward, and then Marcius, who's been super, got claimed in the tackle along with Kirby McConnon. We're going to have a ball up about 65 out from the Scoresby goal. So Van Reenen just has his way with Simbolan in the ruck and gets the tap down. Petrarca, though, tries to charge his way through for Blackburn. Umpire saying couldn't do so. And just before the ball sneaks out, he's going to claim it. We're going to have another ball up. So it's a 14-point lead to Scoresby. Trailed at both quarter and half time, got the nose in front the third quarter. Now Petrarca of the Robbie variety. Long inside forward 50 in the Fraser direction for Blackburn. Just got held off it by Major. Good defensive play by Scoresby. Thumping it over the boundary line was Ben McDonald, and we'll have a boundary throw in. So 8 minutes gone. Time ticking away. Lukey Van Reenen just comes off the boundary. Tells his teammate to get on in Jake Dunn. Instead it's McConnon that comes on. Ball's thrown in. Good tackling that time by Blackburn. They want holding the ball, they'll get it. There'll be a free kick going the way of Blackburn. You can hear their supporters cheer. Just so happens that Big Benny Fraser's standing up in the middle of the pack and saying, I'm going to take this kick and I'm going to shoot for my third for the day. I'm going to do it from 40 metres out, and we're right behind this one, Brett Davidson.
This is the crucial kick, isn't it? This puts them back in, or... it gives Scoresby a bit more breathing space.
So here comes Fraser on the right foot, starts it very, very right. It stays right, and the football goes over for a one behind. That makes it 10-8-68 Blackburn, 12-9-81 Scoresby. Apparently the fat lady's made her way to Eastfield Reserve as well. Lilydale 27 points ahead of Oval. Marcus Hoddy's apparently tearing the Hawks to shreds.
Warby brings the ball back in. That's a great kick. Great pass that time. And he's found Jared Hicks, who goes short to Jones.
So it looks like we've got a close one here in Division 1.
That's good to hear. Good when the radio game is the close one.
It's the first time this year that we've had it that way, but I'll take it.
Brad Jones to the wing. Nice kick. The wing position. This is Wilson. Chris Wilson it was. Tried to go to Milhusen with a handball. Blackburn need another quick goal here to really feel like they're back in the contest. A lot of players around the footy. Spilled out. Strong tackle applied on Parker. And just look for Adam Parker and David Marcius in this last quarter, because even though players all around them will be becoming increasingly fatigued, those two, they run on to the finish. Great endurance that those two particular players have as League. His kick carries the pack. Loose ball now. Who can win the footy? Dropped it. It was incorrect disposal there. I think that was against, was it Micklejohn, I think it was, for Blackburn. Might have been Paul Bunn, in fact. Short pass, very short. It's Brad Jones who takes the mark. Not sure if he can make the distance from there.
He's looking to pass the whole time, so you gather that he's probably not that confident.
He doesn't look all that confident. Probably just outside his range.
Good pass.
Goes short, and Warby all on his own. Just some loose checking there from the Burners, although Jones's kick, from where he kicked it, he's probably only gained about 5 metres by the time that Warby actually kicks the ball. He'll still be on the 50-metre arc, so...
Just watching the Scoresby runner strut some of his action, I can tell you lime green isn't a good colour for the Doff. He looks large.
So Thomas Warby.
So look at him, he's shuffling.
This could be the seal.
That was what he was like at the start of the game. So
that's what he was like 3 years ago playing at Nunna.
21-year-old Thomas Warby, the number 21 jumper. Starts it right, hangs it out well to the right, and it never comes back really, so minor score, and it will be head straight for the bench. 14-point lead to the Magpies, 11 and a half minutes into the final quarter on the Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard.
While we're on the subject of silly people sending silly text messages to Sean, as we were at the start of the quarter, here's one I got Thursday night. Roval only went down to Lilydale last time due to the wet conditions suiting the bigger bodies of the Lilydale midfielders. On a dry date, the bigger East Burwood reserve, the quicker, younger Roval, will run Lilydale off their feet with pace and spread.
That was
prophetic? No.
That must be Pete, was it?
No names, no pack drill. I'll just mention that he's got the same initials as Peter Baird. As the football has been brought out to about 65 metres from the Scoresby goal. Looks like there's a set shot going in the books. Just seeing who's taking that one, Brad Henderson. Oh, looks like it might be Kirby McConnell, as a matter of fact. You can tell that. He's got the jet black hair. He had the black aviator sunnies on as well. He looked like a lost unit from the 1970s before the game. So McConnell puts the kick on its way. The kick was ill-directed as well, off to the left, through for one behind. Scoresby are trying to seal this game, but just can't quite put that nail in the coffin. They're 12-11-83. Blackburn are 10-8-68. 12 and a half minutes. Look, final quarter, Hogs Breath Cafe scoreboard. I hope this doesn't come back to bite them, Davo.
Well, yeah, look, they've had two really good chances to finish this game off, but it's really gone a bit quiet the last 5 minutes of the game, so hopefully something will happen in the next couple.
Lachlan, his kick was well scouted there by Petraka. Vansittart gave it off to Bunn. Shares it with Petraka. Chain of handballs. Rainey under pressure. Jones swoops on the footy. Brad Jones backpedals with a handball to cross. Runner, I should say, got in the way.
Get out of the way, Doff.
Shouldn't happen. That's Bunn taking the mark defensively.
It's because Doff can't get out of his own way at the moment.
So Bunn goes short. Chris Wilson.
Laughing at my own jokes here.
Neat pass to Vansittart. Out of defence, Carafa. Searching long left foot kick looking for Denedick. Tries to swoop on the footy. Couldn't gather it in. McDonald. Gee, he reminds me of Ben Reid. I don't know if it's the black and white jumper or...
He does, doesn't he? Very much so.
He's got that same... He's ranging. He's got that sort of raking left foot kick and plays the same type of position.
Good kick.
Lovely pass by Warby, hits Corey Mack on the chest. Mack, off a step, goes short with the kick to Wade McConnon. So Wade McConnon, true centre wing position. Loads up now. Bangs it long. It's all Blackburn. Poor kick. Gee, that was a bad option, and Windle just works his way back to take the mark. Jay Windle looking for Petraka, who's covered a lot of territory. Gave it to Milhusen. They have some trouble clearing the area, and out of bounds on the full then.
That was absolutely sensational play then from Legg. He managed to put the pressure on, and it was a 2-on-1 situation. He stopped the player from getting away, then created a situation where the guy kicked it out of bounds on the full. Fantastic play.
Vansittart it was, like I said, for Tracker, but Zach Vansittart there putting the kick out of bounds on the full, and you're right, Dave O'Milhusen and Vansittart there, they could raffle it, and in the end they sort of, they just didn't handle the situation as well as they needed to, and it's resulted in the error. So very high kick to the square, huge pack of players there in the camped out just in front of the goal line, and that one's trickled through for a minor score. So 12-11, 83 Scoresby. Blackburn to 10 goals, 8-68. 15-point lead to the Magpies. 15 minutes gone in the last quarter, Sean.
So Blackburn, still some time left. As we mentioned, Scoresby haven't quite put them away yet. And they keep making errors like that and kicking the ball out of bounds on the full, though. They're making life extremely hard for themselves. So the Magpies are going to take the free kick through Jake Dunn on centre wing.
That was just an incredibly poor option then from Blackburn.
Dunn tried to find Wade McConnon, but he couldn't mark. Prendergast going well to get back onto the ball. Now gets it again for Blackburn. Gives a little handball to Rainey. Have they got any barrels left, any bullets left in their gun? Denedick couldn't mark. McDonald did beautifully well. Now sold Fraser some candy. Sold it beautifully as well. Then got the kick away. Great work by Luke McDonald, and finds Dunn. So Dunn had the stationary man, found him. Scoresby between half-back and centre wing now.
Corey Mack.
He's indeed the Mac Daddy. Goes forward. Division 2 looks like it's all over. Lilydale 27 points up last we heard. Division 3 with North Ringwood 36 points at three-quarter time. In Division 4 it's Heathmont by 22 points. Looks like we've got the close one here as again Blackburn, another out of bounds on the full kick. And again Scoresby going to take a free kick on centre wing as Jeff Ryan just shanked one, kicked it straight out of bounds on the full. Didn't look like he was under all that much pressure. And it's going to be Scoresby to take the free kick, Davo.
Yeah, look, I think at the moment Scoresby seem to have got the game in hand. They're just playing it the way they like to play it. And, if they'd taken their chances, they would have really cleaned up.
Here's a chance for Scoresby to flick one out. Wade McConnon got caught in the tackle. Good work by Mandicos, but he got tackled nicely as well by Scoresby. Thought the Magpies were going to link up well and run in towards goal there, but not happening. Big Lukey Van Reenen looks like he's gone forward as well. Darren Sheen's given the Hulk Hogan-style taunt as he's kicked his ninth, sending South Belgrave to Mad Monday for the season, Ben Waterworth telling us. The football deep inside the Scoresby forward line. Beautiful goal off the pack. That's the Mark Williams-style celebration going on out there, and that's how he could celebrate if he had more than one leg to run on, as the ball's gone through for a Scoresby goal. I've got the binoculars on.
Chris Hogan.
I think it might be as well. He's given some our way as well as Chris Hogan. He kicked his third for the day. I think he heard us say that he'd done nothing early in the day. Well, he had up until the third quarter. He's now kicked 3 goals. Scoresby are headed for a date with Noble Park next Saturday afternoon here at Bayswater Oval. They're 13-12-90. Blackburn at 10-8-68. 18 minutes gone, final quarter.
Yeah, they've just run too well, Scoresby, and their small forwards have really capitalised in these in the contest when they go down forward at the moment.
There's the kick forward for Blackburn, I should say. Petrarca takes possession. He was all wrapped up. He's pulled it one over the shoulder. And Robert Petrarca lacks a fortune there because he was caught red-handed, but the tackle was high. So he'll go back and line up. He's a pretty good kick on the run usually. Distance won't be a problem, that's for sure. He's a thumping kick, Robbie Petrarca. It's a question of accuracy. He's kicking from straight in front. They desperately need this goal, the Burners. Looks good off the boot. Makes no mistake. Back to 16 points it is is Robert Petraka's second goal. And now Scoresby 13 goals, 12, 90. Blackburn 11, 8, 74. Almost headed into time on here in the final quarter on the Hog's Breath Cafe scoreboard.
I just saw a little fist pump from Will then, and I think he got a little bit excited over the fact that that goal was kicked.
They've got a chance, Blackburn. They've got a chance.
You're going to tip him in, Wilbur? You've been good at that so far.
No.
Tipping record's abysmal in the last week and a half by you, Wilbur. So you just, when it comes to tips, you just keep the trap shut. I reckon that might be the safest way to go with Scoresby. Bring the ball back out. That's the centre clearance though. Wilbur to Marcius. Kicked it in the Pim direction. Couldn't fire. Sliding in that time was Krawczyk. Looks like a bulldog on hands and knees trying to keep the ball in favour of his side. It's not going anywhere in the end. The umpire's going to ball it up 45 metres out, from the Scoresby goal as the Doff looks like he's running in slow motion, runs onto the ground to deliver another message for Dale Bauer.
There is a bit of a struggle to that strut at the moment, isn't there?
There is indeed, as Hicks got the tap down. Could have been a push in the back. Umpire says no. We're going to have another ball up. So we're just about to cross into the time on period. 16-point lead to Scoresby. Probably still time for Blackburn. There's been 5 goals kicked in the quarter, so probably still 5 or 6 minutes left. If they're good enough, there's time for them. But with the way this quarter's flowed, you just can't see it happening.
No, they're just having that the players to be able to get the ball clean enough to get it forward often enough. Scorer.
Case in point, Worsteling got the football after Mack overrun it, but immediately got claimed by 2 tacklers. And Scoresby have held it up nicely for another ball up inside their forward 50. So it looks like it's going to be Scoresby, Lilydale, North Ringwood and Heathmont that will be singing their happy songs at the end of tonight. We'll go through it all very shortly. As Blackburn tried to bring the ball out of cross half back. Now McConnon, Kirby does well, just couldn't quite slip the tackle, got the handball to Van Ryn at the crucial moment there. Now Luke McDonald gives to Jones. Jones ran a long way to kick around his body and go towards Legg, who takes a strong mark at half forward. Got a bit of a clothesline on the way through as well. Umpire's reaching for the book. There's a player down there in desperate trouble. It's Chris Wilson. He has just been given a yellow. I've got a feeling that might get looked at as well. I shouldn't say too much about it, but Brenton Legg courageous going in for the football that time. He'll get a free kick.
He's been good with his body work and his attack on the football leg, and I tell you what, he'll be a sore boy because he's copped a few big knocks today.
He will indeed. Hawks not done yet. We've been told East Burwood is back to a 9-point ball game. Roval are coming late in the game. Legg feeds off to Warby. Warby can unload from 55 out. Sends towards a long ball that's marked right on the goal line by Marlon Simbolan. And the Blackburn defence up to the task. Simbolan kicks an absolute sack off the boot though. Did not go anywhere near where he intended it to. Good work by Scoresby at ground level. Around the corner that time. Parker just had to keep it going in front of himself. Now they can flick out towards Ben Wilson. He's 50 out. Kicks into the hot spot. No one home though for Scoresby. Good mark taken by Blackburn. Coming out that time to take the mark was Jay Windle. He's been good today, Jay Windle.
Yeah.
He's done some good work.
Been one of Blackburn's real winners in the back line. There's a mark taken on centre wing for Scoresby. Worsteling just couldn't get a hand on it for Blackburn. And go inside forward 50 again. Nice one, Duke kind of business going on back there. There's the mark taken by Blackburn. Cruttenden. It was. Finds Jeffy Ryan. Skipper. 50 metres back from his defensive goal. Probably need to move it a bit quicker if they want to get back into this game, Blackburn. Some nice fixed work by Ben McDonald that time. Now Scoresby, McConnon on hands and knees. Could have got a push in the back, umpire said he did. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Kirby McConnon. Man on the mark standing 55 out. So still a kick and a half out from goal. So Kirby McConnon. How many's he kicked today already? He's got 2. Puts it inside to the hot spot. Don't know why he kicked it there because there was no one in a black and white jumper within Cooee. And Blackburn, Brad Henderson can run it off halfback.
They do through Prendergast. Sweeping kick to half forward. Strong tackle applied by Farrelly. Did he interfere unfairly? The umpire said no. He burrows in after the footy. So they all crash in now.
Now he plays it.
That's that free kick's gone to Scoresby against Farrelly for holding the ball. So the free kick goes to the Magpies. It is with Goldsworthy.
We might need umpire escorts for Nashi when he walks out off the balcony as well.
Legg, Brenton Legg, very short to Kirby McConnon. Puts it up very high to the outer wing. Ben McDonald was the target. Goes in hard again, but he had Ryan in opposition. Scoresby have the numbers. The boundary line, though, is beckoning. And it is still a 16-point lead to the Magpies. 13 goals, 12.90. Blackburn are 11-8-74.
Just rereading Ben Waterworth's message about Darren Sheen giving the Hulk Hogan style taunt as he kicked his ninth. Adam Slater will be under him soon for trademark infringement. He's stealing his stuff. Half seen enough. He's off.
So which one's that, Sean? Is that the?
Oh, I don't know which. I don't know which one it might have been. It might have been the whole muscle flex. I reckon. Slats had the trademark on that one. He's given that quite a few times over the years.
Back into play, Van Reenen against Milhusen. Off and running now, Parker. Scoresby drive the ball forward. Pim at front position, takes the mark. And if he's smart, he'll just go back and ice the clock a bit here, take his time.
All over in Division 2. Congratulations to Lilydale, who have won their way through to the 2011 Grand Final. 11-point win over Roval. 11-16-82 Lilydale. 11-5-71 Roval.
Yeah, absolutely exhausted. Corey Mack comes off the field. There's the kick by Pim. What's he done? He's just missed to the right. Minor score.
1-6.
1-7. 2-7.
2-7.
2 goals. 6 or 7. 2 goals 7 according to Will.
Speaking of stories of survival, Heathmont are through to a preliminary final in Division 4. 17-11-1-13, South Belgrave 13-9-87. Darren Sheen finishes the day with 10 goals for the Jets. So the ball's at half forward now for Scoresby. Nice little pick up that time. Thumping the inside forward 50 was Hogle in the direction. Finds the mark in the forward line. And a beautiful mark taken. In fact, it's Hogle that's taken the mark.
It was Marcius.
It was Marcius indeed. I mixed 19 and 18 up. It was 19 that kicked, 18 that marked, gone around the corner, kicked the fourth goal for the afternoon.
Well done.
Chris Hogle, 4 goals for the day. You normally say 4 goals for the day, Chris Hogle. He's been amongst the best players. Not quite today, but he's definitely made his influence in this game as Scoresby are headed to a second semi-final berth against Noble Park next Saturday. They're 14-13-97. Blackburn are 11-8-74. 26 minutes gone, final quarter. North Ringwood, 25-minute mark of the final quarter. 28 points in front of Baronia, and they are headed to another meeting with Doncaster in the Division 3 Grand Final next weekend. Cannot wait for that one.
23-point lead I should say, for Scoresby, so it's out of reach now for the Burners. Paraffa, who's had a great game, driving left foot kick to Prendergast, who quickly plays on. Brings it back into the corridor and finds a teammate there. Nice pass by Michael Prendergast, and knowing that there isn't much time left,
Adam Wilson it's Rainey. Sorry.
Michael Rainey will go back and try to quickly kick the goal, but time will beat Blackburn even if they did start to mount an offensive. There's a kick by Rainey, deserves a goal. He's kicked his first. He's had a great game today, Michael Rainey, and he has booted his first of the day. Brings the margin back to 17 points. Scoresby 14 goals, 13.97. Blackburn 12-8-80.
Yeah, look, I think probably what just happened then shows the reason why they probably haven't gone any further is that the 3 smalls that all had the football then haven't had a lot of footy in the last quarter, and that's probably been the difference, is that their smalls haven't taken over like I think the smalls of Scoresby have really been influential in this last quarter and a half really.
So the ball back to the centre square, going nowhere. We're going to have a secondary bounce from it. So winners today already, Lilydale in Division 2 have progressed through to the grand final. North Ringwood look like they're going to do the same in Division 3. And Heathmont are through to a preliminary final and a chance to go up to Division 3. And in Division 1, the winner today is the Scoresby Football Club, 14-13-97, have defeated Blackburn 12-8-80. They are headed for a second semi-final matchup with the Noble Park Football Club next week. Have a look at our man Damien Watson strutting straight out on the field trying to tag Dale Bauer, not knowing he's still stuck up on the scaffold at the moment. But a fantastic win by Scoresby. Goal kickers
efforts down back.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Zach Vansittart there putting the
Goes forward.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Division 2 looks... Corey Mack. Looks like it's all over. Lilydale 27 points up last we heard.
All day, whereas they didn't. Blackburn didn't.
Our man Damos collared the victorious Scoresby coach Dale Bauer in the rooms for advance.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, we never discounted Blackburn at any stage of the game because they were able to move the ball well as also. So when they got hold of it, they looked dangerous when they moved the ball. They played really good footy today, I thought. And, a few things going either way, and the game could have gone Blackburn's way.
And mate, you've earned the right to play Noble Park next week for a spot in the grand final. Must be big.